said Obi. Is Salam Mustafa still alive? I thought he has killed himself because he said if President Mahama gets 56%, he will kill himself in the just ended elections. Although he will set himself on fire. Okay, Christopher Takra. Christopher, on that note, no, would begin speaking to Salam Mustafa. Na yetie di ono so ewo emaye. Remember na kwa na yen komra ne fan komo no so Salam. Akwa ba na te saying
Obi.
SM movement.
It's a movement.
Still movement.
Still a movement. Unabated. Unabated.
Official pa bibi aboko.
Official pa. Nyame adumra. Bibi aboko. Onkwade wo ho. Apomudi so wo ho. Yede asida na ebema erade. In all things, you know.
You give thanks.
We still give thanks and praises to the Most High God. So I would say Bibi Aboko.
And after elections, now what have you been up to since your tour baby declare?
I've been here, I've been around. I mean too, I mean baby. Baby. In fact, as in FM, Master City in pulling me out says I think the initial plan was to wait kakra until after the fact-finding committee finished their work. Na, you know, yakasa.
Okay.
But I've also come to realize, going through social media and in Komodie with a lot of the youth of the party across, we need to come back and have conversations on the way forward. And these are the two reasons. My breaking height is but back to the reorganization of the party and to ensure we are back, you know, on the road to winning ways again. Near ACNO, Bobby, I saw my party youth demoralized, break down. And it broke me as the leader of the youth front. I'm sure we'll go into the issues, but looking at the wailing and the pain, I decided that I'll keep quiet and listen to them and listen to all the complaints. Let them vent out. In fact, I think dear after all, if they don't insult us, who should they direct the insults to? They are in pain. So allow them to express it. And let me say, one thing that has kept me alive is the level of anger I have seen.
From WOW Party for?
Yes. It shows me that this party is still much alive. Danka me who ebufu ewo party no one I said danka party we had done another CPP. But the anger shows people who love their party and want things right.
Do you feel, sir, you've disappointed the party youth?
We didn't win, so I cannot say that they're happy. If they're not happy, they're disappointed. And I am disappointed too. I am not happy. Obi, I am not happy. Anybody who knows me, only me will tell you that I don't like defeat. I don't. I make sure that I am meticulous. Into all these boys who work with me will tell you that I'm a very meticulous person if you come close to me. So going into this election from the word go, Obi, from the beginning of the year, 2024, I didn't go into this election empty-handed. I made sure that we developed a whole blueprint for the election.
From the youth
perspective, yes. This was our work plan for 2023. Every year, I don't work in a vacuum. I don't do things haphazardly, baby. I'm very meticulous. I pay attention to detail. Yeah, interviews Bebre, and I kept telling you the most topical issue as far as this election was concerned. Hey, Jumasem,
yes,
and economic issues.
Yes.
Is that not what played out?
Yes.
Exactly. Because me from when I was campaigning to be National Youth Organiser, I bought Hamishe, me youth organizers, and he said, I want to be an operational National Youth Organiser. Not the National Youth Organiser. I
remember I interviewed you on that.
And to a large extent, I was constantly on the road. Constantly. In fact, the last day, now I was thinking, say, now me doing say, menya, payukra akunya na my last interview, but my yes akunya. Because in the last days, look, when we realized what was going on, especially in Greater Accra, my assignment be we, I made my next plan, sending my general secretary. 2 days for me departing, I was going to the north. 2 days before departure to the north, and a general secretary friend me say, Salam, when are you going to the north? I'm say tomorrow next. Or say, David, hold on, come to the house tomorrow morning. Me call me fear and apano. Or say, look, this ghetto thing you are doing in Greater Accra, we think we should continue until your northern Ejumano put it on hold. Because what research is telling us is that we should do some more work in Greater Accra. I need some more hands here in Greater Accra. And gave me some resources. Go and continue with the work.
But now, even before we come to D-Day operations and youth wing role in those operations, I mean, found to say 2023, and born out of more national youth wing plan way for 2023. I read here the key objectives of this document. I suppose we need a work plan for the year 2023,
yes, for the year 2023.
and we are the year just preceding the election year. Good. Yeah. Also, the key objectives of this document are lead an aggressive mobilization of first-time voters. Did that happen?
Yes.
Who mobilize first-time voters?
We did.
Really?
Yes, you will not see a lot of things. But look, we did a program at UPSA, a mentorship forum. Look, I operationalized my entire TESCON secretariat under me. I had the entire National TESCON secretariat go out to work. Look, I can pull so much data for you. Campuses here, registration, and so on and so forth. In 2023, on first-time voters. 2023, registration at University of Ghana. For the 2 weeks that we did the registration, was the NDC able to hit 500? They were not able to hit 500. But we hit 3,000 and something, 3,017 or something.
A registration of FIMO.
First time.
On just University of Ghana campus. So, where were they on election day?
Well, that is a set of another conversation.
Another conversation.
Yes. But to say the remit of the work, we put in enough effort. Look, my constituency youth organizers, my regional youth organizers, the kind of pressure that I've put on them, the kind of pressure I've put on them, even with little or sometimes no resource, the kind of work that was done behind the scenes, and the results that has come in, you ask yourself, how?
Yeah, because I may share even point number 2.
But don't read everything.
No, I'll not read everything. Yes. I mean, monitoring and evaluation of TESCON institutions, and why TESCON institutions near critical. And they say, a research say under you as National Youth Organiser, the once vibrant TESCON was almost comatose. That's and that the NDC team were all over the place on tertiary institution campuses. The NDC can argue, say, based on more activism on campuses, for the first time, they won just about every polling station with University of Ghana, for example. And it gives credence to the fact that TESCON was dead.
Let me also tell you that we also won the SRC presidency at University of Ghana. Why didn't they win the presidency? the current SRC president for University of Ghana, a guru. In fact, the two strongest candidates in that election were NPP boys, Manuel and Guru. The NDC candidate was a no-brainer. So what's the argument?
Yeah, but you didn't go. You were not voted for to win SRC elections.
No,
you were voted for to win general elections.
Never? Yes.
Yes.
That one is perfecto. The NPP party, first and foremost, primus inter pares, win elections.
Yes.
Not with their forming Abain.
Abain, sure.
Yes. And everything I do is geared towards so. We'll find the student block alone, the student side alone. We have Teson, we have the SRCs,
yeah,
we have the blocks.
Okay. Apart from SRCs,
yes, we have the blocks. Yeah, well, Noogs,
okay.
SAG,
okay.
NASAG,
USAG, University Student Association,
and all of them, all the blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Obi, we hear mistake. Not these bodies, you are not in. My brother. Yes. When are you Nook's president? When was the last time the NDC won Nook's presidency in this country? When was the last time? When was the last time? And for these two Nook's presidents.
And it didn't just happen.
No. It didn't just happen. What was it? So of course, the criticisms and all that, I take it. Look, I'm not running from any one of them. I'm not. I take it as though those criticizing me want me to be better. Sir, and I'm a fan. Or we could have done more than Kamubeti more. And I agree. Maybe we could have done more. But to say that we didn't do anything, no. That one day,
you will not accept that.
It's not that I will not accept it. The data doesn't support it.
Okay.
Because the student front, we didn't leave it. Yeah? Maminchirao 2024. When I was developing the manual for 2024, election, I told these guys, say, let's open up the National Youth Wing. And the National Youth Wing campaign team, National Youth Wing, the National Youth Wing campaign team.
Campaign team, okay.
So open it up.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring someone from outside to deputize, to vice me. I spoke to a whole lot of people, and Virus came to work with me.
Okay.
And up here.
Virus,
yes,
State Housing.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe you will not see a lot of the things that were happening, but Virus was working with me. Virus was vicing me. Then this was the structure I took into the election. You see, I have the formal side and I have the informal side, the ghettos and so on and so forth. Then the formal side, the student, blah 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 blah. I took my time and we put this together and make sure that we're able to get people to come in to support. Inti Mr. T, Youth Connect. Yes, Youth Connect 16, all the 16 regions. Youth Connect.
At the regional level.
At the regional level. In fact, and sparking up the entire,
But you were also criticized with Youth Connect because it was tied to the flag bearers campaign. The youth activities were dwarfed by the flag bearer and in the campaign.
No problem. But I needed to do that for the flag bearer. So when I set it up, and a teacher, when we started the constituency-based one,
a teacher means it worked.
It worked.
Okay.
And the NDC virtual didn't have a response to Youth Connect. I saw that they tried to do a youth town hall, but no one. I follow everything that happens within the political space.
But maybe they did not have to. They didn't have to respond to Youth Connect.
Exactly. Our strategy is different.
Yes.
And our strategy is different. That one, I perfectly agree with you. Yesterday, the constituency-based one, and I make a George, all the guys said, you know what? If we are going to follow the flag bearer around, there are a lot of things we'll not be able to catch up with. Hey, George, Richard Jenfi, you guys stay with the presidential candidate. Virus, let's go and start something else. And we came and started student campus invasion. Me, Virus, Kwame Prempe, Akwesiwa, PMMC.
Yeah.
This say Akwesiwa, I've seen on social media people asking, why?
Yeah.
But day and night, Akwesiwa was there. Dominic Edua. And my deputies and all these guys. Campus Connect. Intimate. Yeah, I can show you videos. Who come a wall, so I'll be home videos. You call UCC and other campuses. You call room to room. Yani Nkolane Ekasa. It's there. It's on my wall. When I started the campus invasion and realized that it was, and also it was ongoing, I got my deputy, my deputies involved in it. I told them to lead it. Then I went to start the ghetto campaign. Because at a point where I say we're concentrating, on the former side. I say, Yanko ghetto shno. Then we started the ghetto campaign.
But in all of this, I see a campaign, at least from the Wakache Mrs. A campaign that was not properly decentralized. And apart from the now warning Richie Jemfine virus with deputies and all the guys from Youth Connect to campus invasion to ghetto campaign. Apart from say Salam Beko baby, and now say virus Beko baby, and now Richie Jemfine George Quartin Beko baby, what else was happening? Now were other youth wing members, constituency region. What were they doing?
Look, I can open my phone and show you. All the time, my regional youth organizers on the road, we have a page and they kept updating. And then this is what we did and so on and so forth. I don't want to breach privacy.
Oh, sure, you cannot just put out details. No, you can't do that.
But I can show you. So because say Omanye Juma, I will disagree on any day from the constituency all the way to national. Ankoye, I understand. Somebody has to take the fall. Look, some of the people I've seen criticizing me, some of them were giving me thumbs up for some of the things we were doing. But at the end, Ankoye, so what do you want them to do? They must blame somebody. They must blame someone. Danka Ekoya, the same people will sing praise you. So why would you be angry if the thing doesn't go well and they are bashing you? You must take it. And that's why I take every single criticism, every insult, every critique, and all that. For me, I think it makes me better. And I hold no grudges. Some of the things, meet me who video, meet me who write up. I say, really? Even in the abundance of evidence, say, the person doesn't understand. But the person has written.
There's one thing that people associated the NPP with, and it's a party of intellectuals, and I believe the Teson, the intellectual base of your party, and you hope that through that Teson vehicle, you can capture the various tertiary campuses. You seem to have lost that luster. In this year, the NDC has taken over that intellectual space, so they completely control the universities now, at least from these elections.
But I'm saying that, how many exercises do they have? How many do we have? If we are going to do comparison, who will beat them any day? Because that's your true strength. Your true strength.
Yeah, but the results on the campus be our polling station.
Let me tell you something interesting about University of Ghana.
Yes.
Or more 8
polling stations.
The halls.
Yeah, 8 halls.
Yes. We have 8, they have 2.
In the JCR?
Yeah, the JCRs. We have 8, they have 2. But we lost. In fact, I personally drove to UG and interviewed some of the students, had interactions with some of the students. Some of the things they told me, I can't put on air. But I've had time to do that myself. But of course, some of them, it is trite knowledge. We call JCR in Yumbre. And at time, you're mobile football.
Yes.
Now, who boys know JCR? Omu team. Equity, Omu phones. FM. Because how much bets. You understand why they will be angry towards a government that has put 10%
on bets winnings.
Yes, on their winning. Yeah. You understand? Yes, and there's so many things that I picked up, but I don't know. Meet me and from Tutra. I can't.
But it also affect him on these campuses. The 10% bets.
Of course. These are Gen Zs. These are young, guys. Young guys.
But these young guys, apart from going to them on campuses, they are always on social media, on X, on Facebook. In that space, Nelson, you were beaten to the game. The NDC again seems to have controlled X, for example, or more X spaces, their first Twitter spaces, all over the place. I mean, there was no response from the NPP.
Well, if you are talking about the general campaign, I may not be able to give you an appropriate response from maybe a communication point of view.
We're in a general campaign. Let me give an example.
Yeah.
Let me give an example. When you look at your colleague on the other side, George Opariado set up, I don't know if you had a similar thing, but on your office for the National Youth Wing, where he created the NDC Youth TV, for example, which was on social media, on YouTube, interviews, engaging. He had people there 24/7 on X, on Facebook, engaging students. Your friend is saying call center. What was your response?
We have the NPP Youth TV. One of your very good friends is behind it. The concept, he has a lot of interviews on it. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
But you did not have Gen Zs in your team.
We had a team dealing with Gen Zs. The Gen Zs are not a group sitting somewhere.
Yes. But there should be people sitting down thinking, how do we reach the Gen Zs?
There was.
And did you reach them? Mutimi Erichi or more?
I said look from December last year.
Yeah.
When
December 2023. Okay.
When we're going into 2024, when we're developing the manual for 2024, the first question we asked was, who are the youth?
Okay.
Who are they? We say youth, who are they? You must define them.
Yeah.
Where are they? You must know where they are. Because if you don't know where they are, you cannot reach them.
Yeah.
And 3, what are you going to tell them? You understand?
Yeah.
So these 3 questions all, we'll make sure that we're able to capture it.
Where they are,
yes. Who are they?
Who they are, and what you tell them.
You will not appreciate what has been done. Look, I kept saying that going into 2024 election, the NDC was not the problem of the NPP. The NPP was the problem of the NPP. I said it. Yeah, there's a video I think on one of your sister stations. I believe I saw it on City FM. Mikasa, this one I remember very well. It was in Talensi constituency, and I said that in the NPP we have enough numbers to win the elections. And I can tell you, Ghana, when you pick the electoral map and do the trend analysis, you would understand why the NPP should easily win an election over the NDC. You understand why? For instance, if you pick just the 11 constituencies in Greater Kumasi, just 11, Greater Kumasi, it should be able to cancel about 5 regions or 6 regions, just 11 constituencies. You should be able to cancel Volta, Upper East, Upper West. In fact, now we can add North East Savannah. It will cancel all of them. Just 11. So Ashanti region takes care of half of the country. So how do you lose elections? So I kept saying, it will be, it will come from within if there will be any defeat. And the result shows it. That over 2 million NPP for one Kotuaba.
You believe that narrative?
Yes. Look, but I'm doing some work, constituency by constituency, the differential. Look, when you begin to do the differential, that's where the picture begins to look
clear
to you. Wow. Look, Asawasi, not many Manaf, Ekasa. Manaf was able to close the Zongo side. The side that didn't vote was the NPP strong side. That's the Asokori Mampong side. So you go and check the numbers around the Asokori Mampong. Then you understand how come over 9,000 people didn't show up.
But again, Salam, if this election was going to be determined by the youth, and I say this because I also electoral roll now, the number of youth there was no doors saying other age brackets. Yes. I don't know. I mean, you put it around some
60%.
But 60% good. Often Kofu voters register national no. I cannot think of any flagship headline policy of the NPP and they targeted at the youth. I can't think of one. Off the top of my head, I can think of some from the NDC for the youth. Namu Nibibisa, it was a serious gap in your campaign communication. And I don't know and because this election was going to be determined by the youth, you know, the youth wing should have played a more central role in crafting more communication to target the youth. There was no one headline, you still had to bring back free SHS. Because again, there was nothing new targeted at the youth in this election. What was that policy?
I kept saying jobs. So if you watch very well, when did we do the Boteman program? Was it September?
No, it was not September. It was after NDC's one. I think somewhere in November.
November. Why did we do that program?
A response to the NDC?
No. In fact, it wasn't necessarily a response. This is an election we heavily invested in research.
Okay.
Like I keep saying, I don't do things blindly.
Okay.
I don't. So when at the end of the day, the narrative came back that look, the most topical issue is jobs. We had to rechannel the communication, the conversation on jobs. So that's why we created that particular program for the presidential candidate to speak to young people
on job creation policy.
And if you take our manifesto, I kept saying it can't be a mekasabia. The most important thing is edumasem. Bawumia means business. Everything in our manifesto, if you pick our manifesto for 2024, about 80% was job centric. How to empower young people from every sector, from mining, agriculture, the services, and so on and so forth.
But I'm happy you said, na moye very heavy on research. In what research was telling you, and it shaping how our campaign echoed, and the different phases of the campaign. Yes. But I am thinking, sir, even before you started this national campaign, you knew jobs was a major thing in this country. Yeah. And it shouldn't have occurred to you getting close to election day. So I think there was a more tricky narrative to respond to the jobs question. It should have been from especially when you tell us, more data again showed you 60% of the Ghanaian voters were youthful.
We kept talking about it.
Because
we kept talking about it.
Maybe again,
there's no way, there's no program the vice president and our candidate then, our presidential candidate, Bekasa Akowie are on Bojumasem. There's no platform. I have from my Youth Connect to all the other programs that I have attended with him. Jobs
was a major
and we provided data to show that said Bane Jumasema we have more credibility in terms of job creation than the NDC. Because so far no data actually said we have created far in excess of 2.3. In fact, some figures have put it at 2.6 million jobs. That is why Obi under Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia, you did not see an unemployed graduates association, of Ghana. You never saw it, even though unemployment is still a problem in this country. But it was not as dire as we saw under the first, John Mahama, presidency, where no more call nursing training institutions, no more call teacher training institutions, Obi. This government has absorbed 100,000 teachers, over 100,000, nurses. When we came, what was the size of the police force? Yeah. Police force was, about, let's say 30,000. And their police force is around 45,000. When we came in, immigration was, I think, around 4,000-5,000 thereabout. And the immigration is almost hitting 12,000. So, Ebani Ejumasema, we have created jobs. But it is still a drop in the ocean. And this I've said here on this particular platform, especially at the rate at which we are churning out graduates in this country. So it is going to continue to be a problem. Because social media, the NDC people have already started crying.
Do you also believe, Salam, we have a final question, I could break about and then we continue. Do you believe, sir, this narrative, I define a campaign, no, sir, because social media conversations, were not favoring the government in power, until you pushed a certain narrative, sir, elections are not won on social media. Now, man from our grounds, measure backgrounds are situation is different than what's happening on social media. That was a misdiagnosis of the situation. Now, you didn't see, say, really what's happening on social media, a reflection of the general Ghanaian society. The kind of effort and pushback and there was some way on social media, you didn't do it. And that's why maybe you lost the youth.
Assumptions, maybe.
Because leading members of your party said, say, elections, then your social media you're in trouble or grounds. But forgetting, say, that is the new ish.
That is the new ish. In fact, over document where you will see that one of the questions we answered, the three questions I asked, who are they?
Where
one
are
of
they?
The questions, social media. Social media. Yeah. In fact, most of the things that I was doing, look, you have done a lot of things that is not on social media. The boys kept bashing me. You are doing a lot of things and you're not putting on social media. People don't see. As our party people, they want to see. I'm saying, no. You see, I understand winning elections. It's not everything you show. Obi, did you ever see any video, any post from Joseph Yamin?
Yeah, a few ones. I mean, video be or tutu
forget
mostly
forget
the videos on Mustafa Bande, no more videos.
Forget those arrangements. Okay. One day me call Oti region. Now me call ya the Oti region. Me through Oti and Ajono and my phone ring me find Joseph Yabin. I say, hey, Akwalaboni, where then what? Where then what? That was what's where then what? What's fair? Now only the when I got here, if I wanted to take you out, I would have taken you out. I'm saying, hey, my brother, at the moment another time and can't hold. That's the bit and idea stress him. But at any point in time, they kept moving They kept moving. And look, everywhere Pablo was, I knew. Because the region would tell me. And I'm sure, same thing.
Also, money.
You know, so there were times that we would talk and, me were, ha? I said, yeah. I just said, you have just moved. Look, we worked hard. But at the end of the day, the people didn't go out to vote on election day. The most important day, they didn't turn out.
And that would be my next set of questions. What happened on election day? And what do you think accounted for, say, amount for MP and Kotwabano? We'll come back and deal with those questions. Ekosiisen Suni, Haya Sempa 94.7 FM. Mene, the youth commander of the NPP, Salam Mustafa, Bibrina from the SM movement. Yeneno Edin Komo on what might have gone wrong for the NPP in the last elections, and elections which was largely dependent on the youth of Ghana. In excess of 60% of Ghanaian registered voters on the electoral roll were youthful. In TMI, youth conversation was very, very critical in the just ended elections. My message is Brina Abba. I'll take time and read all of them for you. Unso betimi de what they are brain 0548 443 532. Yes, I'm right back bio on meaning say any message you have person will respond to her.
Oh, no, just one or two.
Okay.
Obi, one thing I mean say is to justify. I'm taking my time to give account of
yes,
the kind of work that we did. Let me say this. All that put together did not yield the result that we wanted. So it's not a justification.
Yes.
I'm saying this so that we can all come back to the table and pick it afresh. Look, we have rocked the boat. The boat has sunk. We're all in the water, struggling to swim ashore. Once we get ashore, we have to build a new boat and get back on the sea. And no na yejuma. Meanwhile, Samuel Brian Onimipa 2016, I was Deputy National Youth Organiser. Young NID party in power. Look, I came into office with a lot of experience. Someone like Gifty Owari will tell you some of the programs. I will tell her that look, some of these programs and my results, because a party in government will template different from a party in opposition.
Yes.
Into one year mistake. Now could you see a template of a party in opposition for a party in government? You get a lot of things wrong. So you can ask if there are some of the programs that I said no. This we cannot do. And there are people who will bear me witness as well. I did. Look, let me add, at any material moment, I always consulted Sami Oku and Anthony Abayefakabo because these were two former national youth organizers at my disposal. In the net, they will tell you most of the things I ran by them. There was hardly any program I ran without consultation. In fact, sometimes various will even do the consultation and get back to me because we are at different locations. Or say, oh, Minika Wakasa way or say. Now I'm fine. Oh, Sami say. Then we'll pick it up from there. That's how open I was. Mankase meaning Bibia. Of course. I'm banning a pen. You know, I keep saying that every single critique I take it. Because my party youth are not happy that they are in opposition. They and it is not a place they want to be. Personally, I am hurt. So we have disappointed
more flag bearer in the Ghanaian
all of them. Because look, there are some guys that I got opportunities for. They're supposed to go for interview. After the election, this government became functis officio. Those interviews couldn't go on. Some had gone for interview. Now I can say letters number. And when I lie down and all of these things play back, nobody knows the level of pain in me. Obi, send me so na me ko na me ba na nyina no. Send na me so me in that's war.
Yes.
There were things I also wanted, but how can I get it now that we have lost the election? My colleague Pablo has been made minister for youth development
empowerment.
You understand? It's the same way. I had something to put on the table of the presidential candidate if he had become president. Say, this is my demand. Me and my wing, me and my soldiers. But it didn't happen. But look, exit polls, research, a lot of data we are working on. 56% of new voters,
of first-time voters,
yes, voted for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
56%.
56%.
And no, your memo research.
Yes. But see, we are going to break down every single, detail, because Obi, what for man? You don't look at where you fail. You look at what made you fall. And then I'll share. I may not be in the next national executive setup, but for whatever reason, we should be able to win the next election.
2028.
2028.
From opposition.
From opposition. But hit I the bema and this aban way there. Who be that? Because wounded lion say the form. He who is on the ground doesn't fear fall again. I
know that. But Udim said there are those who also argue say when you pick the NDC National Executive Committee members, and now the informal functional executive committee, or more yeto aba ema wono. Now about pick NPP Modiana. The NDC guys are miles ahead of you. I mean, they draw comparisons between Asiedun Ketia, Stephen in team, Fifi Kwete, your friend is saying, Lawyer Kodia, Nanabi, and the all NDC crisis, Yamin, and a war, and a George or Parade. And some of the argument crack was said, Sabia MPP we near. You may not have been a minister, but George is a minister, and it lent credence to the fact that the NDC executive had more quality than more. How would you respond to that?
Well, I am not in the business of, speculations. I can't, say what, I can't hypothesize on something that, is not on the table. A hypothesis. And
when you say call for you take a seat
not JFK. Not only the party be any how they are. Party be any Subai. The NPP is a conservative party. We do our things very differently. At what age did we elect Damboche to be the general secretary of this party?
Early 40s.
I think Dan was around 39.
Okay.
Just the same age as Kodia. Kodia was around 38. So it is the NPP. And, we need elections. There are some things that we cannot, like I said, I don't want to, seen as justifying in the IAA. But be it as it may, I would have put a demand on the table of the presidential candidate. It's lobbying. I would have gone to him to tell him this is what I also want. You understand? Yes. And if the president deems it so fit, he will grant it. Had a school in Amankobiana. Same as Marco School. Yes. Why can't I be a minister? I can be a minister. I don't have a criminal record, nothing. But for now, my biggest concern is how we all rise. How to rebuild this party, to recapture power. Do you also believe that the narrative, say, in line with more conservative nature as a party? Say, one thing is why a lot of the youth increasingly find the NDC attractive, and it's they give opportunity to the youth, and that
you have very youthful guys now in very critical positions. I mean, from Sami Jemfi, PMMC, to Yahira Koku, NIA, and Yahira Koku is taking over from somebody who is on retirement. I mean, Yahira Koku and Profatefua age, no difference now. Profatefua might be 40 years ahead of Yahira Koku, you know, but he is replacing him. The NDC has done that. Omode Eduji Eko NP, and a lot of young people in very sensitive positions. Some youth think the NPP will not do that for them. They don't find the offering of the NPP attractive. What do you tell Omo Ayeka's answer?
And you no create at all. Abu Jinapo call Jubilee House as deputy chief of staff,
yes.
No, 33, 34 years.
Asempa FM.
I could say what PMC original appointment, no, about 33 years. He was much younger than even Sami Jemfi. Sami Oku NLA, he was under 40. Sami went to NLA around 38. But crapper. Say, but can you win it? Yeah, but can you win it? So, if you tell me that NPP doesn't give opportunity for the look, Macheto, yes, OT regional minister,
okay,
he was around 35 years. So many young people got appointments. In fact, when I was at the office of the vice president, they used to say the vice president with the small boys around him. I'm sure what is that assembly that? Obviously, Dr. Bawumia there, small boys, and I try to share. Oh, I'm lying.
Yeah.
And who were those around president? Asenso, Eugene Abu Jinapo, very young, Fati, Napagatia, very young people. So it is not true. But of course, I also understand that the very old generation, the 1992 generation, now still a bit more abainomu, me offer yourself for mafunum and so on and so forth, gave a certain outlook, say, you know, maybe the government, but on the average, there were a lot of young people, you know, appointed to serve by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And a lot more people would have been appointed by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I know some of them. I know people who really would have, you know, you know,
ministers
would have made, yes, you know, would have gotten appointments under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But look at miracles. Young guy, he was the director of communications for the entire campaign. For Obi to elect, say this young person is the one going to be in charge of the entire communication. It tells you that there's belief in young people. 2016, Ebufu Ghana Fredo got to aban etia
John
Mahama. Na dumso edimukan anamewa. We had slept in darkness for 4 years and everybody was angry. You understand?
Yes.
We claimed the victory. We claimed it. And then the same thing has happened. Economic issues played a significant role in this election. Economic issues play a significant role in these elections. Ghana for Ebufuye. Say a comment at the and this we had admitted on this your show. I have admitted several times. Say the economic situation is harsh. The president admitted, the presidential candidate admitted on every occasion. Like I say, on mine winding. So it's something we admitted. The same anger, Mako 20 NPP. And of course, on this your show, a lot of people have been credited with this, with the NPP, with the NDC victory. Mate, Manibuama, you know, Yabon Samba, Dankanyo Manibuama, and the activate body cams, and then, and And oh, Sami Jemfi, in fact, this show, but if you write the story, the
history of
the NDC's victory, you cannot take Sami Jemfi out.
Sure.
Then my own Pablo, I was the youth commander and I led the youth. Then Malik, my junior brother Malik is also in the picture. And Malik, if we had won, the same thing would have been said
about them.
Mekai 2020, NDC Lucia, some of the things they have said about Pablo. And today he has received a lot of praises. I said, that is it. You understand?
Yeah, but I mean, I get the point you're making.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, himself more post-mortem, no more so more the official one of the party. But from where you sit, what do you think, say, on election day, say the more can say, from data, you believe someone call for na uncle Tuaba? A day now, uncle Tuaba. Do you
mention one already? Economic issues.
Economic issues, yes.
Let me add you two. That played a very significant role. Apathy.
And not apathy ni free.
Apathy. And somewhat, I don't know whether the right word to use, disunity in the party. I don't know whether it is the right word. Maybe for the want of a better word. But maybe in Tokwa, any in Chichemu, I never party anymore. We have said tripod, but the tripod was not working. My core constituencies are a constituency chairman, any PC at the pencil. The chairman will tell the PC, I'll let you lose. I'll let you lose in my presence. Then the PC will tell the chairman, I'll crush you. I'll crush you. I say, really? Now you want to win elections? And you want to win elections? The tripod was not working. I mean, this is a big edge now. On constituencies, and yeah. So you put them, together to work. It cannot work, but we said it should work. It wasn't working. This
FM.
Infighting, and that's what I kept cautioning party people. Say, you kotofoma. You so any buying. And that's why I keep believing that we lost largely because of internal issues.
Internal issues.
Internal issues.
But also, government policies need to roll it out.
Yes.
But that is why the political party vehicle is there.
Yes.
And a party is where you paying for. What were you telling the executive? That no more catch a president.
Look, we go for steering committee meetings. These issues we discuss. Look, yet reconciliation committees. At a point, we said, okay, look, we can't spend all our time on reconciliations. So let's go forward. And Obi, Mami Fakonya we answer NPP for. This thing we do to ourselves, let's put a hold to it. Haven't we learned enough lessons?
FM.
Your constituency elections are now, elections now we are. We faction ye, yet me kabom enye juma. Aren't we tired? Haven't we learned enough lessons? Haven't we seen the resultant effect? National elections, they are cheyemo. Me support you. Maybe Pope, maybe me support Banga, me support Guma, Salam them in Penasem, into me win election no cry. As for Salam, I will never support him. And I supported, Opaya Sana and JB and Kodria Inti. No matter what you are against the person. We are all down.
Yeah.
Haven't we learned enough lessons? Then presidential primaries, haven't we learned enough lessons? So how do you get a united front? How do you get a united party and take into an election? Look, party unity is key to winning. John Mahama had 93%.
In the last primaries.
93. NDC now came to support him. So the party was largely peaceful. We went through a very turbulent presidential primaries. And came through to national elections, national executive, to regional elections, to constituency elections, and down. It's a party for elections, party. It creates so much, this unity that even working together is a problem.
But knowing all of these internal challenges,
and some of them, Emma, because, like you have said on this your show, our politics is largely based on patronage. And I feel that media womb and a media because the Bibia Ayedjani, you understand? Media womb and a media. But look, I am an open person. Anybody who knows me, whether he supported me, he didn't support me, if you need my help and I can afford it, I'll give. I don't need to antagonize anybody because you're a party for. And I say this all the time. I will always help because, not because I want to be praised, but one day, Obi Enfanye Emameba. One day, even if you not do me good, but maybe you may see my daughter, my son somewhere, that
now why any good?
Now why any good? And that will be what the legacy I would have left for the person. I've had family members who tell me, "Oh, I went here and I met so person. Oh, thank the person for me because the person mentioned you and said, oh, when you go tell Salam that." I said, oh, the person treated me well.
But Salam, knowing all of these internal challenges are a bit mama party be a lose elections, no? Why were you so sure of a victory? And a position you took just to excite my base, Nana? Because I've seen videos of you and now because elections we win here. Obe show, obe cool, day and obe win. I don't know. Okay, answer, man.
Obi, I went into this election, me nine,
Obi
Bibia, and I'm doing. Obi,
you knew you were going to win. Were you sure?
I was absolutely confident because, like I keep saying,
now we work data, no?
Heavily with data, heavily. So we kept doing polling. February, when we're stepping out, the NDC was in the lead. I'm sure this one you know. John Dramani Mahama was in the lead. February 1 was stepping out. But by June, we had closed. By end of the campaign, in fact, the last one I saw, about less than a week to the election, we had closed. John was around 45%. It didn't be around almost 50.4, 50.4 thereabout. So I was confident. But after elections, Emma, Mr. Teresa, a lot of questions saying, look, I followed the conservative election very closely in UK and followed the American one. If you watch the first debate between Donald Trump and Biden, after that, senior Biden elusu numbers in the polls. The second debate between Trump and Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris numbers Ekosoro. I was shocked. Election night, the results that came.
The results are bad.
And weren't you surprised?
Yeah.
For the first time, the Democrats lost popular votes. And the Republicans crashed the entire blue wall. The entire blue wall was crashed. In fact, it's about one of the worst defeats the Democrats have suffered.
Yeah.
Yes. And who read it through the exit, polls now, largely the same issues, economic issues and governance issues. So I took my time to study the American election. In fact, I read a lot of, reports and analysis on it. And a lot of things were beginning to make sense to me. Yes, sometimes, we did everything we could on the election day.
On election day.
On election day, yes. The D-Day, the most critical. Look, I've heard a lot of things, but meet me and fun to job.
But they say because
I will live to the glory of God and look, what we did in opposition,
yes.
and got the NPP back in 2016.
Yes.
Mayor times 2.
But for the sake of credibility and the credibility of your promises going forward, you should kill yourself.
So you got to my funeral. And what will you say? But that's the level of confidence
you had in your preparations for
yes, and I wanted my party people to know that, look, we are not down. And Obi, do you honestly think that if the results was close, would have easily let go? Do you think?
Easily let go meaning what?
Would have just let it go like that?
But what would you have done? Say you close, now I'm lose. What would you have done?
I'm not sure that we would have lost if the results were close.
You would have overturned results?
Not overturned. Look, if the results were if our numbers were going to turn out, we're going to win.
Like Monko for the PA beto and sometimes I'm here operation go TV.
Yes, and I'm saying
how did they turn out?
I can't say it on
radio. Mean can radio so. Among 49 resources so. Go TV, the all the resources there. It is a Go TV now. Yeah, that is amount for. Then you'll be saying the transportation. Also transportation. All the money. Regional Youth Organiser. I'm a canon, sir.
Well, these are the issues that the committee should put in perspective. The hin and a buying from so. The hin a party from so. How do we correct them and how do we
move forward? And I think one of those on the bit about proposals in reforming party, there was a mibusana meje wadwen kire say what are the proposals for you as regional and national youth organizer who is going forward? There was a party, it to me implement at least from the perspective of the youth wing.
Yeah.
Even before we come there, Obesia contesting national youth organizer position in the
They my bro age
age near then like 40.
Yes.
In the after 40 won't mean contesting national youth organizer.
Me 41.
That's the policy in the NPP.
Yes. The constitution is very clear.
It won't mean court national youth organizer view.
Debbie.
Okay. So now our opportunity. The emphasis will be 38 and now say 37 and Kaubesian could be. Looking at how this election turned out.
It will depend on near party for the catch me. In fact, Obi, me call round. I'm going to tour the existing regions.
Okay.
Yes. Maintenance say any radio so keke. The very promise I made that I'm going to be an operational national youth organizer. I'll go back to the ground.
Obesia call round.
Yes.
Going to do what?
Let's rebuild our party. Let's have conversations. Debbie, me a party ba.
And as I say, I'm aware for Obedi 42, no?
Yeah.
You would want to look at another position, in another elective position.
For now, me my dream on
Undecided.
What next to do. I am focused on the reorganization of the party. The youth who are disappointed, how do we assuage the pain? That is my preoccupation for now. How do we get them back FM, to the fold? How do we start to, build a new vehicle, build a new ship to head on the show? Any preoccupation for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are ye party here. Now you can family them in a position where, look, you come and meet the same results. If we do not attend properly to the issues that afflicted us and got us loose.
There was one allegation I read, say, in the youth wing, NMO officers across the country, some people contested and won leadership positions, polling station, electoral area, constituency, region, national. When they won, rather than some better than higher Jumano, some of them, you guys facilitated for them to get scholarships. It took what I'm a year Juma and Nunti, Omukojina elections. What do you say about that? Was it a problem? And another problem now?
No a problem, but and also a problem. A problem.
You think so?
It's a problem.
When officers are working in absentia?
No, but people stepped in. But a problem. Honestly. Imagine, say, National Youth Organiser, now, my sorry, America said, we compare green card. What I say,
Yes.
to create a problem.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, but you allowed elected party officers to leave.
No, but they don't come and tell you that I'm going. No, what America just Commander General, wouldn't be. But the America could trust up 2 years. Nobody will come and tell you that.
Asempa FM.
Because me too quiet about me call ABCD. Aba. Never crack ako. Also, there's nothing you can do than to get people to replace. And I saw a number of it.
You went into the election with on a lame horse. The party being the horse was lame.
I won't say
it's either some officers who were supposed to work for you didn't believe in what you believed in. They didn't think the election could be won.
Oh, election, the SIO. Election, there are only two outcomes. You win or you lose.
You understand this now? Oberman call for resources, so they will keep it.
Yeah, I'm sure even in the NDC, there were some who were doubtful of their
victory.
Yes. Normal.
Normal.
Yes.
Which two policy reform proposals and say part neka se Fabra or Debeko, at least from the youth wing?
Obi, look, a lot of it I can't say on radio. But I don't want another
youth organizer to go through that. Okay.
What a lot of people don't know, Sami Oku, a National Youth Organizer. In fact, some of these things they are writing, they are taxed, being poured on me.
Yeah.
Some were poured on Sami Oku. I'm sure you remember some of the things they wrote about Sami Oku. But at the end of the day, we were able to build an iconic youth leader in Sami Oku. You understand?
Asempa FM.
When I was deputy to Sami, for the 4 years we stayed in the youth wing, the only money that we ever got from Central Party was 5,000 cedis.
For 4 years?
For 4 years.
In the number of raising more resources?
Yes. And from then till now, it's the same thing. I was raising my own resources. There was no dedicated funding for the youth wing.
From the national party and even from the campaign, from the national campaign.
From party, there was no allocated resource
for the
youth wing. So you, the national youth leader, you have to ensure that you are able to raise resources. But one of the problems we faced in this election was donor fatigue.
Okay.
At the point they were tired. And also some of the people I kept running to, others were also running to them. And at the point they were saturated. One of the proposals I want to make is that there should be an operational fund for the youth wing.
Okay.
I'm speaking specifically for the youth wing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have said maybe the organizing wing in general. Because look, me be on my phone extra is here. Some of the constituency youth organizers on person when your program no money. Some I was able to support, some I couldn't support.
Wow.
Okay, Obi, I have here receipt. You can see my name on it. You can see my name on it.
Yeah.
Me Sika 705,000 to motorbikes.
705,000.
Yes.
Wow, personal money.
Yes.
So how do you plan to recoup that money?
Money I can't recoup. There's no
7 billion.
Yes.
That's all city 7 billion.
Yes.
Only to motorbikes.
Yes.
And the Salamuska.
The Miniska. Because at a point, I ran to the finance minister. He supported Dr. Minanta.
Yeah.
God bless him.
I was saying about finance minister.
Okay, so Mrs. Tabna, sorry.
Yes, deputy finance minister.
Yeah, Yamishano answer. Samuel Kunyamishano. Kojo Ponkruma and Dr. Lulu.
Kojo Ponkruma and Lulu.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. God bless them. God bless them. God bless them. I don't have enough words to express my gratitude. Don't walk here. I'm a Greater Accra.
Yeah.
You know how it was funded? It wasn't the party that gave me money to do it. So I want the party to dedicate funding because
operations for the
operations,
youth
wing. Young guys. How do you expect them? Obi ejuma you know, 100,000 ejuma o. Over 100,000. You have done nothing.
The best within one day.
If you give me 100,000, you have done nothing. 100,000 ejuma. To go around this country, to tour the 60 regions, Obi, I need not less than 500,000.
Oh, one tour around.
Yeah, one tour. 500. That's 500,000 cedis.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, since I became National Youth Organiser, on my own, I've toured this country 3 times. Is it 3?
Yeah,
3.
Some of them 5 times. Even.
Before we started the campaign. So it tells you the amount of resources that has gone in.
And a fund for the operations of the youth wing.
Young guys.
A major
school, he hasn't done, much. He has interest in politics. He has contested and won as constituency youth organizer. How do you want the person to
fund party activities?
Yes.
Okay. Indeed, that's a critical point. Or number 2 proposal is because of time, indeed. Or number 2 for the youth wing.
It's a controversial one. I'll keep that one. Controversial. Controversial. I'll keep that one.
Keep that one. And we'll be discussing
we'll discuss it. Okay. I'm sure the committee will call me.
Yeah. So now they will propose.
I'll put. There are some things that need to be done. But ab initio, one thing I will propose, maybe number 2.
Number 2.
I think all deputy positions should become elective.
That's for the youth or across. More deputies, more appointee. But it often said, elections don't necessarily bring out the best until you use the appointment of deputies to balance the scale.
Yes, 2014, I took the same position and I was told the same thing. And I disagreed in 2014. And today I disagree.
Okay.
Because my position is that when you go around and you campaign, it gives you some authority.
Okay.
Than when you are appointed.
Yeah. That's true. And
no, the guys, Obi, this party, NPP, we are titans. We are fighters. We are gladiators. We are giants. We'll come back. And I implore the youth of the party and all the establishment, opposition, the very people who are going to bring this party back into office is the youth. I don't want a situation where bring this party into power, then people from nowhere will come and be taking appointments. And that's why I like a lot of the appointments JM has done for the NDC. Reward loyalty. Some of the guys are minimum a year Juma 2016 never got job to we lost.
For 8 years.
For 8 years. I can mention some of them by name. Obi, there are some controversial things that I have done in this country. Controversial things that have happened. That some of our people involved, somewhat, they were not placed.
Asempa FM.
And I think that, look, when we go and risk our lives and we do such operations, never should it go unrewarded.
Very well. So I think that sentiment is well communicated. Because of my time, final question. Do you think the party should retain Dr. Bawumia in 2028?
No candidate has gone on the first shot and gotten it. No candidate. Tell me one.
Okay.
No candidate has gone on the first shot.
First one, Unya.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Or second or third in Obenya.
Yeah, it's good.
And look, based on that trend, do you think Bawumia should be
I think Dr. Bawumia still gives the NPP the best shot at it. The best shot.
Despite the gap in this election?
Yes. Look, when you come and see the amount of data we have worked on, look, we know who voted. So we're taking our time to do a lot of work. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo went 1, 2, and the third time he got it. Look, we see elections. But for it, say Ubenya Kukudro, say Ube Biom.
Yes.
John Mahama, the 5th election year. And I mean, this is John Mahama's 5th election, and he has won 2 out of them. So it is not that easy. John Kufuor went the first one and didn't get it in 1996. 1998, he went to Sunyani, he became flag bearer, beat Akufo-Addo. 2000, he came and won on his second shot. Mills, on his first shot, didn't get it.
Yes.
He waited till 2008. That was his third shot. And he got it.
Okay.
So
based on that trend,
there's a trend.
The party should bring back Dr. Bawumia.
Party for any Beya.
And common sign Fanimra.
I think he gives the best, shot at making it.
Based on the data you are perusing, did he do well in the Zongos? Because it's something his critics would use against him.
Yeah. We didn't do well in all the 60
across
regions,
the country.
in the 275 constituencies. We didn't do well.
Not just the Zongos.
It's not just the Zongos.
But it was expected. It was expected say he would bring the Zongo votes.
Yes, on a normal day.
This was not.
But we woke up to an normal day. But Obi, you catch us say NPP Olusu second D seat. How will you take it? Maybe what that's sorry. NPP Olusu second D. What will be your first reaction? They be where they oboa. And I say NPP Olusu Akrofrom.
Okay.
And Katie Hammond constituency. Adansi Asokwa. Ashanti region. NDC. 7 seats. What I say?
Very well. It was an abnormal election.
Yeah, quite an abnormal election.
Okay.
It defied. Look, honestly, this election, I am an elections person, but this election has defied my knowledge in elections.
You still need to learn more.
Yeah, that's why I'm taking my time to decipher the data. I'm breaking it down because I want to understand every single detail of the election.
Very well. We would have to end, Salam, because of my time. My guests for the discussion segment are ready. But I have to read this message. I say, Obi, I was privileged to be part of the inner core team of Salam Mustafa that traversed all 16 regions of Ghana to campaign in the just ended elections. And I can say without any form of equivocation that Salam stood out in his work. He is not lazy. Conversely, He's a super workaholic. It's rather unfortunate the NPP lost and he's been singled out for blame. But it's understandable. Unlike success, which has many fathers, failure is always an orphan. As I have said elsewhere, Dr. Bawumia was just a victim of circumstance. He became the unintended casualty of the bottled up anger of the masses. Akufo-Addo's political sins was visited on Dr. Bawumia and the NPP. Salam, don't worry. Posterity will be kind to you because some of us know the solid work you did. Sir Obama. Ewo Pokwase. Salam.
Yeah.
Mame Nase.
Mr. Medasi. Obi. Mefa way and for NC form.
Okay.
Look, I nearly died in this campaign. People don't know. That night, ask George Quatin, these boys, Richard Jemfi, around 1 a.m. when I couldn't take it and I crawled out to hit Richard Jemfi's door. Around 1 a.m. These boys.
Another AO.
They thought I had been poisoned.
Oh, okay. Now we hear me over here.
Yeah, I was throwing and I was passing.
Hey, they took stress, was it stress?
I think we took in some.
Okay, you had something. Okay.
Look, that night, whatever transpired that night, all the way till morning, only God that kept us alive. Okay. And I thank God that He has given us life and strength. And on this note, I just want to, say to all the NPP youth and all of us as party members, yes, we are all in pain, no doubt about it. But in the pain, let's find strength and bounce back. That's why I said we are fighters, we are titans, we are gladiators, we are fighters. Let's arise and shine again.
Salam Mustafa, National Youth Organiser of the NPP. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, best I'm sure in Komubi Ekosiisen Suni. Adia Abejafon Atnase the Nanaya Jantwa Abekansa Ewa. Presidential staffer. The latest presidential staffer.
Only for tutorials because I know the rules very well.
You know the rules, eh? After this one, we get to us. We must say I won't try it. Wabe cancer ewo studio. Hunting penny for anyone. Ebabedi and common shannon so. And for my wadrin channel still, I'll bet me at the abrain 0548 443 523. That's our WhatsApp number 0548 443 523. Answer on the discussion segment Franco Trading Enterprise, Millennium Insurance, and a Tabia Herbal and a Afahonka. Na Franco say and a open mobile phones, papato and accessories. And a open electronic product and swatwa a Franco Trading. Inti from Nokia, Samsung, iPhones, open smart television sets from 32 inches to 100 inches, Ubinya Biato, Franco air conditioned, 1.5 horsepower, 2.0, 2.5. Yeah, were chest freezers and refrigerators, washing machines, microwave, blender, and a Yakofa CCTV camera scrubber, papa be state of the art. Correct one pa. Unya be a bebuao. Now the good news is so what you may be using our digital platform, it's your website and your app, you have 40% discount. Franco trading number is 0246 422 338. In two phones at Tonquadia, Franco 0246 422 338. Now on Enkasa. And they say malaria how one munro and co me pacho tabia herbal mixer eba uba. Bomodin ne maunsa enkebi. Oye bema ope vitality. Uhia tabia takum. It's made with no alcohol, honey, and idea into 100% organic. And na mo amope edrebe boosting mo immune system. And also tabia zone care. Say oyem etim untimin shada inya wonai papa tabia herbal capsules ebeboao. Open no be at 0243 686861 0243 686861 na onsunya edruibi netimi eto. Yen discussion segment ye de bremono mamema sofo akwaba na afimaba presidential staff or sofo akwaba bibi aboko.
Oh yeah, lawyer, elder, award-winning journalist, Obi. I mean, Srapa, Sansa, Juma, and Esron Kokra, Ghana fan, and we are fan, and Nepal, Edward. We are all very proud because society, the empire, so tired. Now, my member, congratulations to the freshest presidential staffer. Yana Siani Dimba, and Nanka Nimsa. Nempa more than sa who's a son and pipe more than a pa and you know me aba na ya adwanto congratulations on your well deserved appointment kobwa omampani na Ghana enko so anfa ntoma pa
infra yeah that's it constituency eboko
yame adom yame ye adom pa sanse DC no enye nipa ahoden enye de waye bi sanse minim kofo a won so son wo constituency pa we want to be on survival. And you know, you better sense out for us. Penny for you for 1 year, Mujidi, Samai, Aquanias, and so on. That for the third term, okay. The Omase Pa, and saying the Nanaya Jan to one call for no to share so power. Nanso me and some. I mean, other Roma or the one for film Bakukai, yeah, sense south. Okay. To know you're in penny for us, sense south.
Molusu central, then north.
Yes, me no ko.
Okay.
You know, Yamias, your man phone, your voters, Nina, or confidence, or the Maya. Never cost one so. Yeah, now you my promises are, yeah, and the part, yeah, my own Moshe, Moshe, but was
FM.
Very well. Sophia Darcy. Nana ya atempim jantwa. No, Charlie. Nana ya you too much. We too much. Na bibi aboko.
Me never maboko.
Ye tim kwanso.
Ye ti Darcy.
And I know me busa o say John Mahama ma opposition a obejia na ma o ka say onin oyobi a ne ye adwuma a kama
Pacho ye kama
into position in the bar obeje. Did you ever expect say position or the position ebema now you'd virtually be reporting to him on a daily basis? Bibi now was
Pacho debi. Some me expect bibi ampo. I wasn't expectant.
Okay. Okay. Eba a surprise to you.
No kwa na madao. Me madakura na me manubura me dem ho. Ka chem say mama nam si dey asem. Mama ya fall with presidential staff nam si nam si tie nam si me tsatsa nam si
Wow.
Na fi course start to say ba.
A flow ba.
Be sinne nyai.
But do you have an understanding of role?
I think it's all more on energy, tariffs, and public utilities.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But as official.
I know as official.
They find out no presidential and fire ruling can like what comes out. So it's like public utilities. Okay. Like in my area.
Yeah.
But I also believe say baby I have an expertise to help. I'll help. I mean, for us to all be successful. No?
Yeah.
I have a lot of expertise in so many things. You know, I mean, helping the maybe be area, even though that is what I am told. No, by the old man.
Any other special assignment?
Any other special assignment? One area I feel say meet me a boy, ABC women and children. Yeah. I'm very passionate about it. Yeah. I've done a lot of women things, and especially near maybe I mean who around said last week say me kojo. I don't know if I came to say it here, but me probia mana boa me na maswa me loader. Me try many akolake to be 13 years ne ho fe. Say mama me nam si da bi. Na wo ye hwan? No say ofri wale.
Oh, okay.
Now wo ye porter. And I'm say how? What this saying? Not say 13 years. My heart just went. I say, hey, what is this? What is this girl? They know kutu. Why na eden and say come on? Why na ye ni bibi a ye untoward? And a jump for man say mama win e be credit 8 years.
Almost 1 year.
Yes, so it means our social protection. We need to really look at it.
It's a major issue.
It's a major issue. Nti mi sika kita mi nyina me so de man am dane mani. Man I mean I was so heartbroken.
Yeah.
And I'm dane me say 13 nti me boba 13 years no nenam. So nenam sa keke nti bi say so obeko school. No so obeko school if say ye de ne be call back to the chrome. Then officer na nani are very teary. So I told myself I wish I could carry her home, but maybe lost, maybe near a kidnapping. You don't know who way. So such social protection issues and the said about down for money nam kwamuna. I say you almost frequent. There's an incident where a madman actually killed an 8-year-old to the charging of everybody being to me and can't. So such social protection issues we should look at it. So if about women meet me I can do a paper or something and give it to the ministry. The minister to implement. It is Ghana in building to be expertise because our social protection is weak.
Yeah. That's true.
That aspect of our social protection is weak, and we need to the vulnerable in society. Widows because I believe this as a me a crampo dating assembly. Ma moye a single mothers and fathers to register at the ministry. Na events now we know why, because at the base of most of the issues we have the issue of single parent homes. Nkolani nya hwesofo na omakwakoto be ma binsem e be ma no nya obi oye papa omohu no as a mentor, especially men between the ages of maybe 16 and 21. Obi campaign me call prisons. What I saw then is also another social protection issue. We baby some say be a sorry about government, but that is not it. As I say our real 80p ewokromha, so that obi person could date here, it should be set protection room, because dating apps will money be they fall into the hands of rogues. It is the intervention seen in ano. You bet me put in place and sorry I then akasa. Na aware aba single parenthood na ya dos ndodo, and it is churning now some kind of children a hygiene. Yes, amwa obi say okoye kokuma say prisons say o hwe nkola egu ba na chi say the ba o hanta no ma nkola egu ba na chi. You see the age year is 18, which means 21. Average age is about 22. And it's very, very serious. A man be a more de dema, warm any mwa. Obu ho crampo ni lawyer. In some people what to take around mete. So all these things and believe says it me halfway home, sir, and may almost free prison, but we need baby that. We have to look at the social protection aspects of our lives. So some of these things, I believe say media ma me say me nye but ye chechire man nti baby a me wa dwendea baby no yes metimi abwa
obi we say we special supplementary manifesto for a presidential staff, and I think it's a very brilliant idea, sir. And I enumerate be across relating to gender, social protection, being so related to children, and the expertise of Ghana has the primary expertise in tariffs. It is my expectation send him on the Belako man penning and the ministers, specific ministers they are both brilliant initiatives. See, obi to many or man discuss it na or more apeke. Sans aban bi aba ye boano na eyeyi. Okase obi ekru emba otimubi. Ntino kaso enyama ban na woso enyama president na woso enyama colleague ministers na woso ntino opia omotikos wonko failure sabia ankoyi a yenyina na yetim. And you also don't say wo bra na wo ho no wo na na adwe nyina wo tirim ntino wo afiri ho no bia na obetumi aba be yi ntino we admire some of these initiatives. Now they here pam ne say metie the said na ya kan. And there some of the other ministers won't appear before us at appointment committee. Brilliant articulation. One more year. The here plans or more be boa president. No, the son said ye to aba at the mouth. Na edrum pempen so be a san to abetiao. na akɔtena efi 8 years na sɛ Ghana forsa ɛto aba de mawa gidie soronko no wanya ɛwɔ mu sanse about the you either win or lose but so your mampani anaze wunya o mampani po na waban wo power na olusu a na sɛ nneɛma baako mienu bi anko yi ama omanfo enti no mo ato atia eni so mo ato atia pen na so on another occasion o mo san to amawa gidi sɛ President Mahama has 4 years to right the wrongs and to leave a legacy. So ye kai the last 4 years ye de be kai apepa nyoma bia ebia na wo biri mu adwene for the first 4 years when you akwanya enti no say wa fa say koye minister na say wa ankoboa no na wo de obedi na ahwehwe deals no connection ye fa screw cran say unsa no o deals no connection ne hia wa eno no enya ade a ebeboa oman no enti no we wish all the appointees wo mo be ministers wo mo be staffers wo mo be CEOs wo mo be board chairs ne board members nyina se emfo afunko na emom no fa akomapa kɔboa omampani Mahama se ne mfie nan e wɔ nanimu no o de beji dimpa ato hɔ a daanche posterity ba behwɛ so I remember no kindly sanse aban de ba eko samba 2028 ebe samba beji ade na so 4 years ya NDC 4 way wo ye obi a ya appointee wa go in there and help the man to succeed. Some of us, they are members of Parliamentary. They be bia their support to our buying say, Obey necessary and then they are to go aquamuno. We will support them. Name also more coach on swa. We will point them, say there be, and I know, and yes, I be Bapayo, and I say, ya antia. Name baby air coach yana SSSB bar. We will point them in the right direction.
Very well, very well. Nana, on the point about role in area of expertise, no, say, no, you'll be helping, and as you'll be coordinating between the ministers and agency heads and the presidency.
Also, PRC say if it's tariffs, it's an independent, so there's always should be somebody who. We had a bit of a difficulty in those days when there was nobody really liaising between
agents and the
presidency. I said Jumana beto a penina and casaso, so that maybe a tariffs a crana ya announce ye no or penchiri mubi and never say kukuru command. But in this case, send me or honest and men and mere staff are measure and son a bebano cran into a say yes, will interfere, but some information has to go out and we'll deal with it. And the quality of service issues. And also sometimes the government and the sector generally, the utilities, generally. Yes, of course, your minister, into minister, no, lead.
Yes.
Into the BBI minister, no, na ye day. You better na liaise and see how you be near. Yes, okay. It's a sector which has a lot of issues, and I believe that with my expertise in the sector, near money be interventions in be or those days mini GJ the former boss for NNA. Yes, so it's not something new to us. I think it's in the right direction, and these are the people I already know. Especially JJ is a wonderful person. And John Janapo. John is a wonderful person, and I believe that working with him will be okay.
It is will be a member of the Convention People's Party. Now, how should he or she feel?
Oh, all my friends are congratulating me, baby.
CPP.
Yes, they are very proud. I mean, I was even like, as usual, shocked. But I mean, no chairman a friend me congratulating me. They are so proud. I mean, I'm shocked. A constituency for any that. My friend, Mr.
You still remain a member of the CPP?
Yes, I am serving Ghana. And CPP, they will be enjoy and then make one of you will be enjoy CPP. Will be a kuma CPP, will be our for the be a win to me as a jai. When you show says excellency Mahama Crano, they say me person me pogumbe but obi ananado obi enjai CPP ze na hwe nanado policies e free SHS ni grofo no no omo nkan tumu sa but so hwe ne nema no ya na tin say more towards social no change you know CPP do obi enjai I mean it's something that ade manwa so obi anwa am say refi hindsight of history
no crime can me very mind
became a prominent member of the NPP. Different a minister, different ideologies.
What's me Blade?
And Freddie Blade. Different ideologies. Akosa, different. Bedu Akosa, Professor Hagen. They all were in the NPP. Kufuor government. What I say? Different where they call the ideology, no. You know. And a friend is a Ekosiisen came back to be the flag bearer of the CPP. And only Bedu Akosa contest even though they served in Kufuor's government. And I don't think this is Ghana we are serving. And I believe His Excellency Mahama they say what's me who say me for be so ma meka. I will free another you know I think
Okokumas now Kofia, how would you face your mom?
Onu kwa nani aje.
Sa.
Nani aje. Me brother kwa friend man no patutu. Yeah, say a cool man and now not to cry Monday. In 5 years. And I believe I don't know if spirits leave. I believe me Christonino. Okay, when Jesus died and he a friend is saying Ushia Mary Magdalene, yes sir. So it's possible to say almost so I think my daddy will be proud of me. It's my bad, that's why he was a PNDC secretary, like a minister, a local government and Ashanti region, and he was the mayor under Rawlings. So I believe that I'm not very far from home, and I'm also not very close to home. So send it to Biano. Me Ghana and Damaku because you see, I did back where touch him and ram me minister singing. I me catch him who say, Munko ye jumo. Tihudi, Nams Munko ye juma. Because only my dear me who a friend is saying a deportation act.
Donald Trump.
Yes, let me shame me.
Among for baby fee.
Yes. And we should not create the environment and avenue a be my uncle to climb you. I'm looking for the opportunity and I said the day me American embassy any pa be 5 pennies now. Me a Canadian embassy any pa 2 maybe government officials or mokoyo official business. You see the fulcrum of the base of the G20 countries is Africa. So why should we go there and be slaves?
Namiti, former US ambassador to Ghana, or your interview with Ghana Web.
Okay.
Now, I think Yebusano, why are Ghanaians will apply for US visa or Monsanka? And his point simply was say, why be apply for visa Biano? It was say, omo make sure say, okwa basically no okwa now time so obey
that's the 6 months now.
Yes. Once they are satisfied, say you have something doing here. I nunti wuntimi nya ho nkwa bruch. If they are satisfied, we nya visa no. And the reason is say all countries or call for US, China, India, Nigeria, Ghana, name them. Ghana pe anywhere the highest number of people standing deportation trials in the US. You'll see over 7,000 Ghanaians are standing deportation trials.
And those who have not been recognized.
Absolutely. You know, because of our history, that's why they deny us a lot of it. What it means, they say, if the Donald Trump Act now, say, our sign to law, no, it take effect, we should see a lot more Ghanaians being brought back. A lot more Ghanaians. And that's also another kettle of fish.
Yes.
And also the new administration.
So now we have to look at and say that the dignity of the Ghanaian is and then to depend largely on Nkofo His Excellency Mahama appointee. As I see it me adwumaden na Ghana yede. The Ghana timi say yet say abruche obi anya na dwen say me tu kwan. There was a time in this country na Nkofo mbeso mo betu kwan. nti de bentin and then nkiti wokɔ airport it say a second slave trade na emra so say esi etimi sisa trajectory of events no na magana fa ne ntoma pa efra na ni nyina ye adwumaden ene say ye be straightforward ene say ye be greed afim say ya na wo bedi adwuma na ye de ma wo ya na de akoma pa ene ye bibi ba ho kakra na wo benya bia wo beju say wo be ye but esi etimi ku ye ho ye boro ye ho na etimi ye adwuma magana etimi ye den ejina yetimi magana ejina say nim guasisem we nyina emma ye wo gold ye wo bauxite ye wo manganese ye wo cocoa ye wo oil asesi yetimi etimi sa niemanya resources nyina yetimi de hwe Ghana fo na Ghana fo hutimi toyen eso yetimi tina krom ha wo nkwa abrochi atimi to Lexus awa ye adwumaden me de me na me kan bi se me ade efe ye me fe ya santini obi timi ye adwumaden no to Lexus a enye corruption a efe obetimi ato na watenem wo ye adwumaden na wo to dan wo cantonments a efe oti ase ese obi etimi nya ne de okọ America ye wo 25% for no mo wo sika buburija but ye won crofo no 75% obi a wo ne de oko UK are the same oko abroche baby a me obi metu kwan papa ye kasa tu akwantu a metu papa but baby a meko bia metimi hu se obi a wo ne de ti sometimes ya na se makwantu de me ba Africa na me si na de ne ba you say ye mpanyimfo ne si ye tu kwan a ese so obi e hu se ne siti me say imre bi me ko Dubai me ko ye anopa no bibi e curtain baby am ko tan na me hwe kuro no nam si mre bi ne kuro we desert o e di adwen na da wo mutiri me no metimi asi Dubai ama na Ghana can be like Dubai Ghana can be nti emra so say the osofo kan ye no esisi e nyina ye boa near moving this country forward. You can criticize me. I don't have anything. You can criticize and call you a bit me aka. Be but as at the back of your mind, no. Say me crony. Me say me nyina fa abrochi. Me penny ni pa man fa ho. Because abrochi nya baby a hoye me de. Emre bi na ubehwe na yesi snow beto na ho kirew na yesi se na anam ha otiase we don't need your beautiful weather bibia aduane kura timi grow fie nti yes rese adwuma bi e de ama yibia ne yenye me de Ghana se ne Ghana me peda obi nkase wo kwa abrochire akotwitwifo hwe obi sometimes ya na yare especially UK so for bas anopa na wo kwa wo hwe se mame fo mpanyimfo pa omotete bas mu ko bu clinic adentia obo hani ni din komotim so pefia ba you can just meet somebody on the street who oh sister Mbacho ye Ghana ni was saying person be few so many of them and I dey back so advice back so am de be ma unua bi ye adwuma wa abroche na wo bro sika se fesi diamond na Mbacho fesi why Obi menka me hu say na de my come
right cow
so presidential
presidential
Oti ase so obi di sika okobre ne nsase na so di sika ye de ebre wo se fesi diamond na mpacho si
amanfo bre dodo obeba na bibia ni ho enso obre wa abroche no timi de enya $1 mpo di abre timi so obi a ya na ye den si no so oba wetimi hu say oh me bra me kobre ne so mfa so ni niema ne yensem bebre but we should make sure say e krui e be ni ye me believe say me I always said before I even became a presidential staff I said me I believe in His Excellency John Dramani Mahama I believe say or the wherewithal and the capacity of a boy. But it's funny. Oh, me didn't believe no. I am the someone him say believe no before any. So what kind of problem?
I believe no.
Ain't no. The person me chen say.
Then we loaded.
The person me chen say one more medjuma no.
Yes.
Ono ko ntimi nya adwuma ye nyina ye nkamom as one. There should be unity of purpose. And fan wo say we ha ye nyina ye come together as one. Bibia be ye come. Ghana be konani. Na de ma me be mu. Constance wa flow ha. On the UP oh abo abre
NPP ni map.
Constance 95 years old. Okwa go hwe ni kunu ba bi oda on Monday.
Anyways, so for you've been in Parliament, nominees be bring na fam anim. Mwaka and nyina ya ka said the expectations of the Ghanaian people no massive. Do you think these initial appointments, no, what it takes to help President Mahama to achieve target or no certain campaign promises or them are Ghana for?
I have no doubt that Woma Mampeni Mahama Bo Mudin Yinano, the competence to work. Mudu do on the minimum, and you munina minimum.
Okay.
But as many as minimum one, Woma may woji say Womo Quaco Pro Muyem na Woma ye Jumadin party and commit to me Abwa President Mahama. Na Oshe Omoba veteran so the two Manu Samom Kekaya. Now just say they know what they are going to do. And you know, say want to make support to President Mahama Bishin. Now say Anko Ba say, oh, yeah, promise way, name we buy in reality I hate here, you to me your way now about bear politics as usual, no excuses dear no. That's what the Ghana here more. Obedi say Honorable John Jinapo. Or no say he's a young man and he has the experience, he has the expertise. I'll be to me the Atotonioma Energy Ministry. The air Shenimon say the air Kenyano and the crack say Ghana for being light at them.
Okay.
Na light born so I I call for Nana ya Juan to an area no. And more be between the Abua or Nawujinapo. So the Bay Ghana for being light at them, the Ayu Wejuma, their power or more factory, their power or more hairdressing saloons, their power or more barbering shops. They are power or more nika be beer or more and the or more sako man. They are power more studios, but that light must be reliable and it must be flowing. It must not be a skill you buy ya meton oil, you buy ya meton, you buy arrangement. Now you are in charge, and we don't have room for excuses. Deliver. Na a born so and the answer they be a filling station. You benya petrol, benya diesel, benya kerosene, you benya premix near there. You did juma a born so enko peja enko sro. Na no dancha minia abuja or no roots. Oh, Kasai, or no young no parliament when him say or architects are wire ranking so on roads and transport in Tino, wouldn't Nyoma Bibri road sector. Now, there's one thing knowing, there's one thing criticizing, and another thing going to deliver. Okay, a cabby at the Dahoniadi, but I bet you betoka. And to know, ya quite home some day, ya did here. As answer, a quine ubia fasubi, we are needs in NPP new, Sir President Kufuado, and the track quine no, Sir President Melzo, President Mahama, President Kufu, you know, fasubi. And you know, the old beton said, you go so a massive road infrastructure. Igusu aye no e me ka se enye wa ban na chance nti no wo pese wa ban GetFund nti wo ba be suspend ni nyina cancel no na wa kwa yi wudie bi wo no wa pe contractors fufuru bi afisi wo mo na wo mo ne wo esre e dia ma wo eno no e ma ye tisan e ko ye chi because oftentimes wo cancel suspend ya liability no da so eventually by 4 years later be settle na interest aba be tua wo ho ka ma ne to asokora wi ya ke be enfaso de but another ministry so ya Greek honorable Ekopoku also buy you know or you be a why ranking or Greek into cocoa board in 70 ade no ade a na nije ho and was some be can say no President Mahama person share more of agribusiness near ade also they are also looking at how initiatives maybe yeah share and a few ones be a novel. And then also again the most important objective and also ultimate overarching goal again and issue say obro be ba be kanin na no enko wie say there will be reduction in food inflation. Aduane beba ebebu so ebetumi wi akwa no ne ebenya dodo adi food security ni ade nyina ebeso ano na mpo no aduane bo said ye ne bo tumi peja no eswate said ye Mampeni Kufuado Mpenso etumi achieve yen. So they need to coordinate all that. But one major promise pa Ghana kria frozen me kria ni me kuru ade koko bia koko nfi. Enti said the almost promise in opposition say 2014 2024 koko boy to mu call 3,131 million and e bin see down to me the top cement makuma 11 bags almost there be and so money na ko mo na wa ba mu a and ko be makoko kria ni bia 60 million sabre koko kria for no so hwe ni mu
say umbenya 60 million
say won wa obema be ma wo sa aketua ntumu no we was per bag we was an okay woni akra akọ efum woni akọ efum ba we twa body to ba tia so e duru akese na so junction so a mesio ma ko nwa adwo kakra o de ni gi aso a eno nti no udro na se wo da bi me ana me kan so ye nto aso nko a kai hu so obedru fie no asoye o kira bi nso obehia obi na akrofo about what the nyeda krope na eto no ntino these are some of the expectations are Ghana ekuafo nso hwe ni mu se 60 million per bag of cocoa no one fast akuti ntu no mpo no emra but and also free war honorable to force a very young man what distinguishing ho bano finance mu he was a very young man when he was appointed to become deputy finance minister and oba opposition so ebeye ranking member on finance obi anim said the banus ka 7% mu a odi mu akotene o parliament ho ni nyina enkamfia no after some be the minority leader no aba benya sa position enyonyam kasi na obi anso ebo mpa ta na chi se obe succeed. He's a smart young man. Minim se wa ben so obetumi atoto nyoma aboa. We are in a very difficult time in the world, like from 2020 urban country be anywhere sa difficulty no escape no na mingi ni so say free mu as we speak, because me can see in free mu in 2024 na say ne NPP ni wonti make say we free mu bibia ya okay a na me twa ntro and a lot is expected. Say obey deliver this physical space, they create space kakra expenditure kakra, but also one promises are one they buy very ambitious. Now quantifying so it means the current bill and as expenditure they be a budget passing, they will need additional by 50 billion to be able to finance those new initiatives. Meanwhile, one promises so say one bar they will abolish certain taxes be to say you levy name betting tax and then COVID tax that alone is taking off about 20 billion of your revenue. And you know say be 20 billion every ho. The question is Uber to me a year every one. Will you keep true to your promise? And answer you eat the humble pie. I'm a pagana for Chelsea Mr. Me promise say you no say betting tax no in tray. And me ba betwam my youth fonso nya emu GD to my and answer ye buy the sermon e kuto dwegu for we apologize e twam a be how mine you can eat that humble pie, apologize and then keep it say ohwe so na say 11 no we na say mwa and so come and be transparent and apologize to Ghanaians and keep it but say politics near the issues of integrity we twam no bia hu say ye osia de yo na kan no watwam a obetwam na obewie no be score political point in bewie no ebeto how you finance that shortfall. No, what it means is that you have to raise additional 70 billion because already what the new 50 billion be babe urem I will send 20 billion every month. So you need to raise additional 70 billion to meet that shortfall. No, how can you do it? What the new taxes and they introduce new taxes and now promises so the what the for be na. So these are the complexities the bomb pioneer me a man who are draining answer and moi between the navigate now oba a year Ministry for Education
Yes.
Honorable Harun Adrisu is a fantastic gentleman. I've known him for some time now. Kaya at the age of 39 and obey Minister for Communications. Young man, Minister of Communications, one of the very important ministries. Until at the age of 39, obey Ubiasunim said your genie din fire for 4 good years. Oh yeah, Juma, MOBA who so yeah, Juma. There's a Bema baby I'm meaning and what you know to so-called trade distinguished himself. Went to employment at the time there were a lot of turbulence in the labor front. He made his mark there. Sabri, after 7 years of being a minority leader, 1 year managed Nasikatra. Sabri, ya pija would work education. Education main can't because a whole enemy free bay, but it's one of the most complex ministries. We finance ministry free one. I dare say education is one of the most complex ministries in this country and in many other countries. And I have every confidence so obe leverage all the experiences I would from all these ministries. Ne experience with handling labor issues to bring to bear handling technical communication issues bring to bear he must surround himself with technical people who want to maybe and you'll be honest or power because or boa NPP aban society professors being technical phobia on awareness also contribution professionally beboa on your adventure because now you're free baby and you have a bedroom and you can criticize free SHS all you want, but you can't take away the fact that a single most important policy to me abeboa pa as ye koyanim na banfo free so ba beto so a ebeboa yina. And this time no we have come from an era na afibia nipa 150,000 we BC tenafi no ye twam a obu nyina so ye ni ba oskani ba otumi ko na nim ko secondary school. You can say so when and yes, there was bad food even in our time. Brand near school fees at the your friends O level A level in secondary school. No. But yenis yaba that's almost 1.5 million. No. So once in a while be that's a challenge BB bar. Don't use that alone. Don't pounce on that floor to rubbish, excuse me to say, the whole policy. Nemo no young Kaiser, President Akufo-Addo, why be papa nene watchman ni ba bra meeting nua ba na ya adwanto said you who said be any be for no frɛ and then switch and na ye mase no pe kon be fa so aboa won no it dovetails into that and you know obi ana ni da so ni no oye sabe watchman ni anase se ofri me fie no he has the same opportunity to sit in the same class in Presec on Fancy Payment, Wesley Girls, St. Louis, Prempeh, or Tamale Secondary, where CEO Biba won't now equal chance at succeeding in life because a baby afa woman in our hoka. And this is never ba. That's also what the private schools for so bad. I agree with any policy babe expanding further access. So and you know it's a good policy. But the question is kwan ben so na ba operationalize no GIS for ba ka ho ana
private schools ne de no and also will add some further strain on your finances.
Absolutely.
Omodoso sa.
Oh yes, omodoso. So and no
well, I think Haruna tried to explain the difference private schools wasi in the wasi no.
A lot of the private schools omo run a hybrid system.
Okay.
And you know you said a Professor Ade school.
Yeah.
Christian
High.
Yes. And Alpha Beta and a lot of the very big schools. They run hybrid system, Cambridge and Wasi. And you say, Omote say, babe private schools free. The proportion of students that won't be opted for Wasi no. Ebedoso. And you know, they need to sit down to quantify that number and get a very accurate number for their budgeting purpose. Because their first budget is coming. Yeah. Ghana for here any say promises are more years more free as private for Babe can free as just one. A bit find expression in the budget. Now nina actually one sounds wash about say 1 year I pass university no more be first year for no matter 2 year school fees for the first year I'm home. As to how they will sustain I know another debate for another day. But I'm not saying this to condemn any NDC policy. I'm saying that any policy be expand the access, remove barrier. That is the principal position of free SHS. So why would I condemn that? But the question is, how feasible and are they operationalize it? Well, is it going to be say, me can say me my first year ni bia or public university me tuya ne fees amano. Now so me buy no. Afedie makoye say me yen say okay, wa open no bra na co office be na co apply near farm. How many people can leave? How many people will even have the courage to say, me say me be Jesus crown. Say me nya penny be krenya courage edi mani makope school edi mu ama me mpo no. Unya bi. And say bibi pa bi wo kra na koko ni ba, koko farmer ba. Ye kwa praise CMB scholarship. Onyu obi no edu anim. Nti unya even though set a record. So you don't now have to come in the operationalization of that policy, no. Bring impediment a better work an so. And no nya hwe. But yes, petise nipa no nya admission anka first one we no a awofo nya sa hotoso nti no toto waiting for be brede ma wo ma no enkomu nya ya na sabre na Minister of Education ma ekran na Chief of Staff kra has been directed say oni GTech for ko GTech is an institution no the what director general be bia the structures are there and liaise with all heads of institutions, vice chancellors, rectors, principals of tertiary institutions in public, one for one enrollment, admissions are one, Nanko, one audit, what kind total number? Why estimated budget? 345 million, just like more estimate here. What is basic? Say, Cobro, so 500 million.
Why you top up?
No, say, Ubedi fair, your friends saying the disbursement in crown pa. Because you are waiting because it may not have been part of the appropriation in what we pass. Yes, in advance of appropriation now. And no, we can engage the university. Say we have made this provision. We will have to include it in the budget. When we pass it, it will release the amount on that back. A university. Yes, that is what they should have done. But in yes, I say, Sabre, or buy the Pimono. Your kind is a
Omuntia,
can say Omuntia.
Also, be a wet Tiano. Yes, also be a wet Tiano.
You'll be a one Tiano.
Send your mobile who Juma, or better see the
mainland. But like I'm saying, I'm not criticizing for just it's constructive. We all want to support and the government to succeed because me Ghana my buying soon also Ghana by me Ghana in terms of NPP are cry. We all have to. And what can say 1 year first option they ma me 2 way. And na wo fo ni bia kwa kotie. Wa watua no ye be hwe betena se ahwe. Na yama refund. And no what that is going to happen is that as we speak now, a lot of the universities, about 90% are close to one admission. At the deadlines be by be 2 weeks ago, be 1 week ago. No. I can say many facts, but I can project and infer say not less than 90% of people have paid because you see amount for buy and change die busuan for no were consistent when you anymore we have paid all those and are you going to be refunding this and when one work within which time frame and are they sort to him so he has a lot of work Jiri said honeymoon be a pressure that's what the two way and all than chance one brilliant advocacy and this is for boss if they will be able to achieve it. It's on capping of GetFund. Because if you successfully uncap GetFund, now to be making adjustments in the expenditure elsewhere because it's the same revenue that is coming anyway. And it was capped for a certain reason. For macro fiscal stability. And it's uncap it successfully. Now to be making adjustments somewhere else. It shows your commitment to further prioritizing education expenditure. I don't know, you will free space. You want to me, yes, sir. Extra funding at their support to tertiary institutions as you see a dining biaka to me, I'm financial clearance I employ more lecturers. It to me the BSc lecture complexes near it will further expand access to the tertiary. And also be Emma attention swaba the lower levels, as you see more schools, more
primary schools.
Absolutely. Now share standard and so I set here to her. Nay, you see public site. You see not to say private school. Already ya Tamasi is Legon. Sani see a new public schools, even for primary and JHS. Already ya Tamasi Drabing. Already ya Tamasi Ori Abenase. Already ya Tamasi injuries in Kraya. These are the new levels Ghana for getting used to. And this now so Babesan rectangular 3-unit classroom block, 6-unit classroom block. Amount of expectation back off. So these are some of the things. And now free SHS again, one make a very bold promise be said. Instead say yen pencil. Now you did 20% of expenditure no. They ma expenditure. They ma heads. So one perishables. So the perishables near the tisa. Near some line item for recurrent expenditure. I know share administrative expenses and maintenance near the name 70% of Nuaneno. The free buffer stock in Ghana Community Exchange Econ. One more bar be such a room. Now 100% o mampeni kaya won campaign mpo kan say bizi wa hwe video no so be ono abe mo akohoma direct wo headmaster no benya sika between the akọ market akoto appointee no obi bia dia abe appointee kakra school for ni je enti wo mo atuma bo nse mama no wo mo hwe nim and obehwa the latter part of December in the transition period be last week ni mu ana enuane asa e wo school mu a teacher for the muti pem headmasters in Korano Komo de woman. It was because there was not any arrangement made to directly disperse monies to the heads.
To the heads.
But I'm believing say and when we are no one measure na sorry disbursement no akoso. Se nunya akoso pa headmasters assume that you but that again no now you are going to be directly disbursing to the headmasters. And yet supply be na akwa nika. So the supplier car obetumi supply now we no oba beyero. But headmaster no so would delay in disbursement directly to the headmaster for even 2 months a combat din kranisa. So it is another area. It's a good policy, but they will have to check it. So won't to me I time yours release and code there and you yet be a besino yem pencil 1 or 2 isolated challenges a buyer a month for a 2 or 1 egu so. But another thing about last point about free SHS, and maybe I may move to another sector. The debate about double track.
Yes.
Because NDC4 succeed to me appointee to the whole Ghana say double track no enye akrano ba betra a fee vacation number 1 a day but because of that also they will come and abolish.
Yeah, they will abolish double track.
Double track.
And it's who abolish double tracker. The basis of the most ideal thing is to have one stream.
Yeah.
No first. But when you have increased access from 830,000 from 2016 to 1.5 million, what double no? Now we're expanded by about 2,500 infrastructure, dining hall, classroom block, dormitories.
Yes.
Particularly in the most desirable schools like Presec, Achimota, Wesley Girls, Prempel, Pukwa, grade A schools.
Yes.
So those are overly subscribed. And the number of schools that they started double track. Yet it is so but there are some schools you will still be challenged in abolishing double track from there. And to oba now pone fitia pone was saying moja na beba unya try double track kim it will be misconceived. Over 500,000 students, particularly from the very top schools, and our pam who try double track say Presec, for instance. First years ni nyina obien obetumi asamba because form 3 4 ni form 2 4 no nya best school ho nyina yema. So and the think the innovative thinking about say any other na ye ba be pam nipa be 500,000 so mon continue fi mon tumi in secondary school adan because infrastructure or entumi fa mon nyina anti kane no de na ye fa wo mo a betumi afa wo na 100 and something thousand de mon kafi dodo na ye hia for man. When you're managing inside that contact hours as a winner near the Chawadiano, ye maintain in this case empirically we increase it marginally. Name of mono, ye aside that will be used to honor. No be so ever so try be used to at the end of the year, you become bomuno. Not when you're with the same contact hours, albeit the number of period that this and case or the school and a swat take a crack. And it's a brilliant idea. But if they feel say or more alternative plan be won't be to me I implemented a double track mu and nay not and kra at twice school at 500,000 and maintenance fee ISR magic now. Fantastic. But a crack they say so they will do mean testing. Mean testing. Yes. I'm a 1 year scaffold say more and nana ya jan to an vondi no more the Mashada sweet. One more we want to support them, to implement that mean testing.
Say it will come after the National Education Dialogue. And when there is consensus around the table,
and we will all be available. And like in concluding, in every sector, whether education, whether energy, finance, defense, security, yen ka se ya ba ni honti no ye ba be ye nyoma abema oman no akọ se be dichimu ye betumi aye dia support wo not or mine or fun into my
Mobile.
We wish them the very best.
Mate.
We want them to succeed.
Mate.
O kasanya so gumbe wo mu.
Remember Honorable Vondi Obansa
Obi a o kasa obebo anu gumbe nko
Now
anu.
also was some quick reactions. Yeah, I mean,
There be say ma church obi bi ha. Oh say His Excellency Mahama ka say omo be on cape. GetFund. Now omo dey tua but I'm saying say government buy 20 days in my
say run and
Tuesday budget mpo omo de be ye adwuma no kwa me sure say ya kan inti sika be
so more first 3 months budget
first 3 months budget e be omo nyomo na ye
sure
inti omo amfa no free stress sika na anye den anhim inti certainly no omo ba boabo omo ho na omo de ye me den say His Excellency Mahama no aye committed say eno across kan wo baby say free SHS ni de e be den obe continue nti ehun se nyina hwe all can say sa double tracky at the country so obe include the private school at a point all the private schools were empty.
That's for free SHS.
For free SHS in for crampo ejai into what we have to do is see it me market the private schools. No so team yet to say Wesley girls or yet to say Brig girls. No concentration on your friends all schools no. Etimi St. Louis. No etimi Eden et so be kaya. Wesley girls for Methodist for see Wesley girls at Ashanti region. Obi adwen amaso anye to say Cape Coast.
Fine infrastructure.
Almost fine facilities. Bibi say na see etimi be media will be etimi bring it to the fore. Na amanfo etimi ye de hu se school we wo ho. Ni nyina na say obako school betwa no akọ university. Nti if still na yetimi eboa wo mo ama private schools in Krofo twa. Ene madam football de ne bako school bi okaso a. Say Catholic school. Obi de ne bako school ewo ebon ahafo. Say another Catholic school and people are patronizing because in kola ne ba ye den ye ade. Nti no me believe say His Excellency Mahama is committed to make sure that education no ebe ye you be in hope double track.
But I think the challenge is a free SHS call private schools no. It will occasion another cost on our minor finances. Are we ready?
Oh, why are we not ready? But means meaning so why me sure so kasa keke why some analysis bi ato ho in panyinfo omo education sector no aye adwuma me so kan fa keke. Me sure say be create there should be somewhere hwesika bebre wo ho na eco waste 58 million cathedral is no ye chiche mu anke ntua school fees e be ye free SHS kama eno ye mpese e be ko sa gumbe no
alcohol
58 million cathedral is anke betimi aye bebre nti ye mo pay up na waste ni nyina no ye ke camp see ani e betimi aboa but me so me congratulate all of the ministers my den ya pa wo ma ebi no hwa ya so mu ebi wo so aye be so mu ebi wo so mu ye vet ni ade nti no
bi so ha fe na e ba be bo mu din
deputy ministers list
Vondi no fe na ba be bo
honorable Vondi deputy minister papa who you brutal
you say defense be fatal
I feel they but congratulations and I listened to most of them. Honorable Abuja say is it Abuja right?
Yes.
He really impressed me. Say no when what he was talking about so Eric Opoku Agric Eric Opoku was very practical and very hands-on.
Emilia Atha was
solid. Emano yes Emano approve say you betimi aye den aye adwuma and I congratulate all the women His Excellency Mahama Fosua Jare apa wo mo deputy chief of staff Adam Oyelita wo mo nyina Bampo Ado wo mo nyina they are great women Shamima Omunya great women
Valerie Sawyer
very brilliant lady Omunya okay until and I janto nyina
refusing to grow
His Excellency ayade pass wa pa ma but yenye be kan bom ni aye adwuma we the women our fire we make this nation proud e be make sure say e be ye adwuma in unity and in strength na yabo na chidom na Ghana aye den asesa but he's going to work minimum the country aye anom ke kan say no ni sika o de be ye adwuma ni sika o de be ye adwuma nko kan then DC knows what they are going to do and let's see how this country goes so far so good me who be a chair be so far so good in
Sika de mo bi pa.
Empire was empire so de minimbo. Empire na me de boy and no I be near deco.
Sika de bebre wo ho.
But congratulations to all of us.
Obi uma mi na so ada. Uma mi na so ada.
Uma mi ada we sika wo Ghana. Anya mo anam kasi eti sika so na come there. Eti sika so ampa.
The President Mahama benye sika de I
almost here in fact na na do kasi benye sika is excellent na na do bi se me mpe.
Oscar de benya.
O see eti sika so come there. But Ghana is a rich nation no. See e share your resources ni ye na ye maximize ni me ya ye afanye ye ni me bi se de ebinom na ya anum ko ye ya.
But obi na me pese me man kasi enya sika o. Sika de si enya. But I'm also signaling say the reality say within the season away. A man nyina obi esika 70 and you know much as we pray say we should get 1,000 times more men pa ba de bia me 1,000 times more man yenya sika but ni nyina nso na ye de nyoma bi so tutu ho say reality kakra ho
oral the libre beba oral discovery
Honorable Vondi.
Yes, sir.
Oral discovery
It's a saying
Eradi hu ye mobo.
Bibia Boko.
hey
Eradi hu
Vondi
ye mobo ye hu ye. Na mama nche wani anya bra etie yan.
Yes.
Obi me free general ho na ebe.
Oh, okay. General Asidun
Oh, Debbie. General is like a father. I mean, you know, not like a father. He's a father. I mean,
yes.
That's my godfather, General Mosquito.
Oh, okay.
You know, he calls me. I go to him. It's like I go to his house. We eat together and all that. Intino me koni ho. I'm saying it's right. Or some me specifically mean chow man obi. General say me chow. It me chow. I'm a general who say me chow apa. Or cannot or sreno sreno. To me just say. Aha. No church. That's what we need to hear. Okay. General. Thank you for being a father and.
A wonderful person, right?
Very wonderful person. I mean,
Obi, where then what can say? Comfortable.
Oh, general is
General is
a solid.
General is a politician.
He has contributed
to chairman general.
You know, I hope I don't say in Chiawe, you know, deeper than
in Chiawe here.
Seriously, no. I have said one thing.
I try not the chairman general.
Look, I've said one thing, sir. The NDC, we have to be careful, and we must measure our expectation in this appointment. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama,
very wise point.
Because you see, the point is that Wakasa obey 60 ministers.
Now, 18.
He want to keep to that promise.
Sure.
And I want him to keep to that promise. Now, so we 16 ministers, regional ministers, every 16 more. Aka 44. Uba parliamenter, NDC members of parliament, 184. Still counting.
Still counting.
Don't forget other.
I can't just swing you. I can't just have north and where to swing.
Never mind. So still counting. And now so share independent MPs.
Yeah.
On many NDC Juma.
Exactly.
And now declare totally our parliament, Mr. Speaker Akain. Now out of these 44. You need to satisfy the party base and so any members of parliament. Fanny say, obey 30, 35
every
parliamentar. You are picking out of 184. Boss, you see the pressure on His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So for me, I know that I'm very competent to handle any position. And will succeed because I'm a very successful businessman, very successful politician, a very successful family man, and everything very brilliant. However, I am not keen in chasing for ministerial appointment. You know why? The Enya Vondi said the country will be reset. The dollar will come down. Inflation rates will be well managed. all those draconian taxes will be removed. Double track system will go, and Reverend, it will go. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will leave a perfect legacy. So this country will be fine. That's what I want. I want to see the next NDC after 4 years in parliament and in government. That is what I want. And into appointment, we can look. There are some fine gentlemen and women in parliament. We should need appointment. Sometimes you don't consider yourself. You think and you feel for them. These are people who have worked so hard. And appointment. But the point is that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama cannot appoint everybody. On to me appointee obia. Enko Reverend when you say my being judge, you know, and point in any say yes. In the NDC, there are millions of people me occupy, ministerial positions. Yeah. And these are very competent young men and women. These are competent middle men and women and old men and women. But the point is that we must appoint some people to do the work so we can all benefit. And then, media. Me person me boy His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Abaso. Because you see, appointment are why you answer no. If you be any for obi to say atu forcing. John Jinapo. For me me godfather, Attorney General.
Oh yes.
Dominic Ayeni.
I mean, what will you say about these people? Opoku. Agric Minister Opoku.
Eric Opoku.
He's so brilliant on his subject to extent. Say, upon your working to tell me say, "Yenim say what being a year, yenim say what being." I mean, what else will you expect? What do you say? Again, my prayer for them, and they say, brilliant, they are brilliant. Competent, they are competent. I just want them to transfer that into delivery. It is my prayer. And I have no doubt whatsoever. Said they will transfer their competency and the belief and the trust we have in them, they will transfer that into delivery. Because see, the future of the NDC is in their hands. And they cannot disappoint His Excellency Don Dramani Mahama. No, it won't happen. And we won't forgive them anyway. Because you see, the NDC, our agenda is to stay in power, break the 8, break the 12, break the 30.
We wish you well.
Okay, but we can't do that just with math. We can't do that by just saying it. We must do that through performance, hard work, delivery. And I don't have any doubt. Me freeze go bana usati kasa ye. We jana menkasa. I don't have doubt whatsoever at all about any of them. Look at Akamba.
Akando.
Akando.
Ono oma vetino ana.
No, onyama. Ministry of Health. Trace his record.
Progress.
His progress. Or ranking. So that was a very a young man who is rising. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama or Juni NDC Dachi ho. Usha appointments now why one kofa 70 years old man be 80 years old man be say. No, I'm saying sir. I'm secretary. No, I am talking about. I'm talking about. I mean, when you look at it fairly, what do you say here, Dr. Atuforsen?
But make sure you don't also demonize.
No, we won't demonize that. I'm saying that the future of the NDC,
is in safe hands.
Absolutely, to extent say we are really preparing our youth. Share Basintali, my boss. Now share a youth.
Basintali does it your boss.
No. I mean, I'm talking about communication.
Sami Jenfi.
Sami Jenfi. What do you say? These are young men. And I believe that. Look at my own personal lawyer, Edwigita Makulu. What do you say? So I'm saying that the appointment is solid.
But
solid.
National Youth Authority. They are lawyer Osman Ayariga.
Okay.
And Eco National Youth Authority.
Another young man.
And a
Very young
National
and
Service Secretariat. And so Ruth Sedo.
Oh, Ruth.
Ekoho as Deputy Director of the National Service.
But yenya substantive director near.
No.
Ebeba.
Felix Jemfin, Eco National Service Secretary. Ono ye Felix Jemfin ye. And some names are NDC.
It doesn't matter. Any NDC nimpo oya Ghana ni. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Okay, sir.
And His Excellency
Papa,
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He's looking for two things.
Yes.
He's looking first of all, and the topmost criteria, your competence.
Okay.
Then after, he can consider your loyalty. But you must be competent first. It is when we say you are competent and you can do the job. Look, there are many critics that I believe John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, may be giving jobs to. And again, look at my sister. Onye NDC ni. But I can see the competence in her. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who say, Mami we, my sister, me the nation wa ebeye ye. And so that's what we are looking at. Okay? And again, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, Nabushi any ben when we say one man on ministry appointment. Zero. You see a president. We are talking about
moving to sleep.
Ministerial appointment. Ministerial appointment.
Special advisor is a little step ahead of a minister.
That is your description. That's your description. However,
you are making very
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. MP offering the constituency Bolly Bamboy. Name crew of Wakra agitated.
Sure.
Say then one man in ministry appointment. But look, be a one man now Kasani wafa say ministry appointment. Now what na need MPs say you for real time or say Ghana and that is one yeah. Do you understand my point? So you can see His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's appointment are all year. What do you say? And it's solid. It's solid.
Okay.
And I pray
you started very well
and
but
hope
you are not ending well.
and I believe say one more appointment, they will not lead this country the way some people led the country. They will rather give us hope, and I have confidence in them. Absolute confidence in them. Haruna Idris, my own boss. I mean, education ministry. Look at his track record. So successful. Haruna Idris, I believe strongly. Oh, yeah, I say, look, you have something higher than disappointment in the future. And I so believe that Haruna Idrisu is so competent. Look at them. So for me, this is the best appointment we can have. I'm not saying there are no other more competent or equally competent people. But you can't appoint everybody into 60 ministers. And this is the best. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Why? Look, education. Make a chire Ghana for you and say, Boss be anywhere to Mama Asha only so. Look, Okasa within 14 days of his administration, will be in the cabinet ministers. And they are command Mr. Speaker. I'm Woma vet, but so the command Mr. Speaker, and no vet in Mr. Speaker, so me boy. So I fulfilling that promise, Solid.
Tuesday was the last.
By his fulfilled.
And by Tuesday, now.
Until that is solid. First appointment, first a promise of mine, we're fulfilling. Until the point I'm making is, you can trust the judgment of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. On my befan into my perfect na Ghana beye de. Madam Kachero. Until look, we won't go back again. We aren't going back. We'll make sure this country works again. Okay. Look, the international community, they are looking at us. We need to demonstrate some confidence in the economy. For me, I think that the election of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Mpo, that feeling alone brought the city to a certain level of strength. So we share the movement from December 7, who to me said the city is not being so gullible the way it was under some people's management. What they are saying. And then, and then officially, and a finance minister, I take it off.
Yeah.
Let's watch him. I trust Dr. Forson. he would deliver. Look, that young man is hungry for success. And look out for him. Look, he's a gentleman that will deliver. And I trust him with all my heart. That's the person I'm talking about. And you have nothing to say about him. You have nothing to say about him.
Open Cassiel.
Yes.
Cassiel. Dr. Cassiel Atuforsen. On the Esana Hene, Meboa. On the Hesi Casamso. Sikano, Ebesi, agriculture. Papa be by ye agric minister or your doctor Mua. Why you agric minister no more planting for food and job no? Na Ghana kenke kwa na ekosro ne po ne kwa na ekosro. Na ekom dia na edi Ghana for. Wait and see what Eric Opoku will do. Wait and see what Eric Opoku will do. This country Oman be me. Eduane be ba oman mu. Oman be me. Madam Kachi.
Honorable Bondi.
Say, or you'll be a me penna sempa.
Now pe man sama dia me Kenya no kre.
Me bom paya man say. I know sir he has every competence to deliver. But be a man penny be kwa koshi bia. He will deliver. And you know man tena hanka so menya bia ye menya bia ye menim say unya ubetumi ashine e dey abo.
Avondi o third term in parliament.
Second term.
But he was a fantastic guy and he can deliver. But points are some of the points me corroborate ne land no de na enye krakrakra
na me kan say
ekom mo renew
nanka ye me ni
say edua anansi wu to ase no ntakuma anya den
nkotena say entonko
ho na me dey say abẹ no besi wu we need power say o communication bi no because you know when we near you de na wo so dada no say ye say enye ne krakra ne say wonu wanya and you know ye nyina ye hwe say wa wanya no ye beboa no asosidi. And like we said obi say honorable Dr. Dominic Ayine, very fantastic. Or a young man crying no agini as a lecturer. We attract a lot of notable lawyers in the MPs and ministers are there paying. Okoye Deputy Attorney General so or akwetene and you know he comes across highly respected and brilliant as a the man penny support na obetumi agidi pa they are to ho won nyina ebo mabaso de ba konso a me pese me point out is that the strategy President Mahama His Excellency Afan one very brilliant advantage say waka so bete obey lean government na wa o ministers na wa cape no and deputy ministers and regional ministers wa cape no system no we can only say with this after say I don't have any doubt say beyond to me but so to me this one it is a brilliant feather in his cap. That's what I say. It will one advantage I want to say it will set every minister on his toes. Say there are hundreds and thousands of people equally competent to occupy this cabinet. This entino baby kitwa bi no obi nipa be miensa lesi o boot. Say finance but
I'm sure I don't go be going to the finance ministry.
The number of honorable Amakofi Bua no say lands and natural resources so he no money and they almost bit to me aye there oh yeah say health honorable Dr. Zaneto Rollins Munina Professor Ayensu Nyantini ding
Zaneto
yes and Professor Dr.
Grace deputy nessa
a minimum
obi me anya program na dia na
o my substantive
obi oni hanti me the message say na mo vondi wa ha no nya bi no and I'm make come on so the point I'm making is that obi the point I'm making is that
yes
wa wanya no obesun so ho and I foresee say reshuffle maybe of
very frequent kakra
and you know and no basa it helps in efficiency so because of everybody and also be ma o deputies ni because 1 year you be na deputy evidently na no be year so what yes and you know it will help in a number of things but the other downside a woman want to say a number of expectations na dashed people who have worked hard. They spent a lot of money. They've sponsored a lot of personal advocacies, which have helped in the political fortunes of President Mahama. Promises particularly in Parliament, and that is where I will signal. For what it's worth, and they mean to before. But so
can I have a second?
I'll give it to you.
I'm just to listen. I'm giving you an objective. I'm giving you
just
an
second.
Objective analysis,
you,
and I'm giving you the pros and the cons. I've told you the fantastic aspect of it. That is the good aspect. So the downsides, and so on. Say, and you and I were in Parliament.
Yes.
Just second week in Parliament, majority are. One more year over 185. What the independent for crab can one. One more now over 185. No. One more aka at the time we were taking a very serious government business. Yes, support to any opposition for Crano. Yet in our numbers and support to the approval of the nominations of President Mohammed's minister say yes support to the approval on tentem or meeting the target to the number of days or say or the constitution the government na ministers in Koya Jumano. Now woman kakra bi na wo
majority for
yes what to one and it is tendencies there be it is tendencies that you can disagree with me but you need to watch out because a bit when we had 169 and no pona near door so saying 60 no over 85 crampo no still not certain tendencies but it is starting too early. It's a man saying the number of disgruntled, disappointed MPs to be a penny BB aye and the Basana government business will suffer. You may say we have minority of only 88. Oh, we can do without them, but the nominal a friend saying 1/3. It's not what sits in our standing order. So it's actually members present. And this office of 180 something. Now, when you're being tino, sabi, we need jimpa.
So,
what the beba, Mr. Missy, first step, Menyahe.
Benon, so no honorable. I am in a kakratcher say, when you decided to contest, obey parliamentary candidate,
who contest, who campaigns over the MP.
John Mahama had promised, or befa minister 60. Unim say we MP, so won't mean we CEO or Director General.
Yes.
Well, in any government agency.
Yes.
In the Parliament, I was a one cast system. You should know, say won't mean cover be a West case board be. Now, there are 130 plus state-owned enterprises. There they are. Obi abenya board be other so.
That brilliant point. It's a this is a Mr. Say. Womo enkugu omo kasa parliament eni mu asintino obi anya abotre eni ne no na e watchna but it's also for the appointing authority the president the chief of staff the general mosquito the majority leader the new majority leader honorable Mahama Yarega meba omo so be congratulate to all come together say as it me share
but there's a chief whip majority chief
honorable Dafiame deputy majority leader honorable Ricketts honorable Doyu honorable Richard Champon and there's another one no they need to map up a strategy the non-ministers MPC home now one has any boss do do say naka yem prioritize them now as many that can chair one more the competence to chair and then yes I know suntino need to be a quack to be a reward but do one I best akana need to be satisfied one share some welfare BB so what you say one share welfare BB
but chairing input the new now MPD chair board saying now how would you do your supervisory?
There are some exceptional cases some of the members of parliament. Well, it's a brilliant point from the conflict of interest point of view, checks and balance. But there are some few exceptional MPs given their background and the corporate governance, legal background, and experiences in the leadership. What do you want be able to? But that doesn't mean, and I said that advisedly. Say no interest for no form of reward. Now hope to round a peg in a square hole and answer a square peg in a round hole. And they need to balance it. Don't do a becano. One share wealth and yes sir, one more nyat bibi and fan share the akana. disgruntlement be a banning a party be seen. As in you see when people want, yen to me about 2 million or so. Votes. About 2 million votes. I wouldn't say me misfortune be at all, me no. And to advantage. We want a very decent. We're all in this political enterprise with us political class. But me you know, they may kind of say, sir, post-election violence now, as you know, and obi. So you can't say as political class. Me have my baha, me have me bite. So you can't say NPP baso. In the number of asking cases, say in your office do say nipa do say ne wuye ne wan when this buy we so nipa wuye ni atrocities e course ni violence e course ni into and play politics of equalization. Na say ya breku our democracy no akona ni mo. Samuel Huntington, the famous American political scientist, or no raise many notable personalities. Farid Zakaria, Ekan Portuguese. And what did the 2 turnover test by say? So, or maybe out to me at Dane won't sa minua. So be a buying a bar on 2 democracy. Now we have we have gone beyond the 2 turnover. We have had 5 turnovers. And at a point where NDC, NPP, coalization, you better now we are mini party, mini power, you know. Sabi the party executives and for 2 second and quotation call phone film officers and call me patch me ba a bedroom pen so be a IGPT office chief of defense staff at the office. No, it's very dangerous and we must nip it in the bud. Chief of defense staff in the office, IGPT in the office. Party for about twice and so.
Then we IGP.
Oh, me then ura obuase mine because obi as the kutupa from campaign say ye winia mo ko ba bia ko take you over. Obi until what I'm saying is that we must condemn it. Whether MPP did it, if MPP does it, I will condemn it.
Okay.
PPP I will condemn. CPP I will condemn. Why must people die? Why must whole offices be bent? Why must my president, Ghana President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, be threatened by NDC youth because movies Obi we must condemn all that. And to end, congratulate Honorable Mahama Yariga and the new majority leadership of NDC. Say we will support them to prosecute their government agenda, but we will keep eye and watch them closely.
Congratulating the new leadership. Mahama Yariga is a solid guy. Me him for over 40 years.
40 years.
Yes, because he is a crying and was a common and you know, I mean, or a solid person. And me, I'm so made Daffy, I'm a poor friend Daffy. Me, I'm mini Pabaco. Meaning say he can do a great job, and all the other people, Ricketts, Honorable Ricketts, Ricketts again, Mammy do you meaning so munina they can do the.
And I'm happy for Richard Achampo.
Yes, Richard Achampo.
Bia East.
You're happy for him.
Yes, Bia East.
Happy.
But you're the young twasso. Your friend is saying, "Hey, my dear, in this constitutional review, one of the things that we should look at is dividing Parliament from the executive.
Yeah. Parliament and yet truly independent.
The Parliament should be truly independent, and Parliament should be well resourced to exist on their own, so that omunya at the backdrop of the executive, because the Parliament are almost a watchdog over government. Into a watchdog over government, you know, as I say, it's me free one hand. That clause in the Constitution which says the majority of the ministers should come from Parliament, you know, as I say, if you. In that sense, we would then find out who are truly committed to serving at the grassroots, and not because they may be nipa and person obey a minister, you know, Parliament. So there should be a clear. I mean, that should be the first thing they should look at.
And our MP say sign your motor board so no crowd end there and your cry.
Because it say won't mean satisfy you before name, but I believe that board no a board be any independent board. I think it is okay, because then it means that you also defeat the point where ministers are in government. So it's the same as MPs in boards.
It is a tricky constitutional provision. Now you stated clearly.
Yeah, clearly said. So there's a clear distinction between. So the president's hands will not be tied. So he can go outside. He can go outside Parliament.
MPs may no more distracted. Presidential staff.
Presidential.
Oh, say MPs no more distracted flag staff out.
The whole flag staff house is here. And no more distracted.
And then I had gone to a NDC for only one class in CPP members.
We missed you.
Into no, as I say, yetimi etade ne si yetimi team. Si yetimi team aye for the future. President bi obaby ane how be yeketu bi. Because all kinds of 60 ministers now form munye free Appointee enye din.
But the other challenge is so say when obi pese okoye MP na onim say I don't need to get into Parliament to be appointed minister. In fact, if I get into Parliament, mini minister to Nkwantaya.
Yes.
Then it would also work against Parliament, or quality that will go to Parliament.
No.
So when me minister, I will stay out. When me call Parliament, I am family as
but the point is that you make a Parliament look attractive. How? You resource Parliament very well.
When you say resource, what part is?
Oh, so we find the ways are almost salaries very good. Good allowances. What I say? Niema bebre betimi abo, because you see what is it that you are talking? Are you telling me say ukokoye minister abenyeska na?
Ubenyeska.
How do you get money apart from your salary? That is what I'm saying on the face of it.
Okay.
Apart from your salary, how do you get money? So if you're a member of Parliament, also no your salary, your allowances. So what is given to the minister as in emoluments? Also the same package.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, no obi nchen will be. So this issue about I don't know how a minister benyesika apart from the salary. And yes, then we are going to the area of corruption. So so every salary the minister near my MPB. Ono kra onya more because ono oni power share om. So we should create a fund. They have the district assembly common fund.
What can I say? What can you know?
What I say?
It can be
we should all my distracting you. You see, we need to create a certain fund, and the district assembly common fund. I think that it should go into the hands of, and I bet you 50-50. Assembly benyebi the DC na. MP so ekuta ne de because you see typically in MP no say me bo mo nka MP ne ko gina o kasa me ba me road DC no ni hobi
no correct.
So at the end of the day when the DC gets well resourced, right, now oba be compete MP no na the problem aba
and to make it work no yen to abanso ni DCs
no dey yen partisan lines.
No, whatever we all agree on, but there should be an election.
So there should be a stakeholder meeting on that one and see what stakeholders you say. But for now, I believe we say one more day, as I say, you share Parliament ye. Because Parliament, almost near me go home on the doors.
More office square was see Ghana for some moment.
No, there be any day, there be almost bre papa share. So many Parliament a ye Juma ever since I Mr. Juma. Parliamentary Select Committee on Trade and Tourism, Parliamentary Select Committee on Energy, Parliamentary Select Committee on Water Resources, they need help. Parliamentary Committee on Finance. It's a new sika MP almost and you see that even as I see it me creative pension fund you see it me creative your friend is saying a mortgages emma wom. I see it me more salary bit me a tot dine ama wom when they leave. Na ye pet bibi to say another maybe parliamentary fund for health. Because immediately they leave, all of them operation no many opportunistic diseases be na almost than I'm off on phone of phones are no. Yes. When they finish, may I am saying say we need to sit down. And I'm not saying say we'll be come home. we need to sit down.
But I advocate for us more.
We need to sit down and holistically look at what can be good for Parliament. As we look forward to say because there's a lot of years see any MP dichotomize legislature from the executive. But you won't mean Janessa because the burdens on the family or constituency for Uncle for more looking up to him. Share or go hold me with 10 or ban or back at your soap bedroom. I also saw Babako.
Well, yeah, it's true.
The me go through that so I know what it is. At the end of the day, we need to make Parliament comfortable. So that's almost
new chamber na kram.
Yes, new be fam because all my juma na heading. And into no de bia no mo ye belebele o. No mo nam sa mo nam de bia no mo stress enye fe parliamentary ho stress no kedo obenya contract to help debi. So that they okay, so that they get the peace of mind. Say be a ministers na wo mu ni nje bi.
Bondi de no scapa.
Tariffs no.
Oh, yes, successful private man.
No, why Bondi? Oh, Bondi that be a private man no, yes, so go ko bi cho no age contract.
Shey, Bondi.
Oh, what patch your contract? Oh, cash.
Oh, minika bia me di Uber na ba yo patch.
The Bondi wo sika crampa. Sika na means now also.
Me di Uber na ba
spend there besa. Into the media me advocate say maybe we say article 71.
Yeah.
His Excellency akase obey ye free ho. But me large I always pleaded with him say sanka parliament dey any day. Anko wunya.
No, but
Mr.
Speaker, sorry, no, we are not appointees of Mr. President.
Yeah.
Mr. President,
he has control over our non-appointees.
Exactly.
No,
we are not appointees of Mr. President.
Unless no baby appointee ministers no. Anna.
Yes, I know dear, or no appointee.
No, but even ministers no. Where would they? So a minister not an MP, he can choose to fall under.
Intimate they may kind of say, be there as far as I'm concerned.
Unless or a board, no, Article 71. Every ho. I'm not too sure say entrenched clause.
And it will come to Parliament.
It will
go to referendum. It won't come to Parliament for parliamentary.
It will come to take.
Oh, you would have to.
You look at it,
sir. We'll take a good decision.
It's the point is that Parliament, Parliament for the we need to let them have it because a bit does what is not flags so.
But when said, "You make us say what we've termed as gratia." We've not been fair to MPs, no.
It is not even an ex-gratia.
We are not there to car loan.
Extra money.
And extra
money. And I don't cry,
and no cry, because when you are it's not even up to 2 million cities.
What's not all the mechanism of good?
And sorry.
But when you got 2 million, you baby. I didn't pay 200,000.
300,000 near the amount.
2 million. Say any baby, will be crazy 150,000.
200,000.
Will be crazy 100,000.
By
the time me will be a city in Sikanya, naka 35 cities.
No, the coffee will be Susa. Who coffee? Who can't loan now? The talk how the coffee not me well.
Obi. And Penny say, "Oh, Pastor catch it." Yeah, no one catch them from. So say presidential staff at her.
Wakasa man.
Na advocates now or reason. Bebwa. Nemo no.
NPP
Fiano.
Oh, NPP ni NDC. Obi. Me did say I need to have a little bite before.
On a more serious note.
Wakasa do my friend.
Mr. Be a medesma and penny sma. Menu about penny. Sir, obey your man penny, your betting say. Yeah, Kyle man penny say. Some human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill now. May I make Kahubi, Honorable Sam George Kahon, Honorable Dafia Mepo, Honorable Suhini, Honorable Bedra, Honorable Adoleso, Wanom Yina Kahua. Ye passe ya, Pufian Tuata, and you know, Anye accented no. Sabrinimono, any pronouncement, favorable public pronouncement, or make ye the ties, Abil Nachis and Guano. And we're president and Koye Assemblies of God need ye. Go on check crowd, Bessan sent 21. Sabri, Yamiada Roma, Yenny 18 sponsor Bell, no Baco pet, Honorable de la Soa pen and to me and Sama. 7 in our hope. Yet the Baconso Barbe Cajon. And check from next week. Yes, from next week now. Yeah, the sa bill no to Parliament. It's a bill CDD4 we near politics a bipartisan even at the time when my buying was and I'm a member of the executive because of my principled position.
You support.
Yes, I sponsor
the new bill neighbor.
The new bill no. Yeah,
Trump was sign it.
Until the day ban. The day ban. On the inaugural speech now no kind say America. And so it's Ghana and Africa na manfo binum esrusru say we na wo kwako kan we na nkofo bi ba beto ahye so America for no. Totally. Until the kind say Mr. Muniaba o de oben omanpani Mahama.
Menua
o kan say yeah ba ye sa human sexual rights and Ghanaian family value bill na CDD 4-year Afrobarometer survey 2021 one determines that 93% of Ghanaians are intolerant and abhor and find repugnant those practices not to our societal values. In the same shape and focus, we went through a lot of consultations and him for a title, a software, imam for stakeholders, CSOs. Yeah, someone that drew sa, yeah, they are back in that same shape. I'm just say. Said the Obia boy, me drew some peppers. Only now, so be some boy. Now, ya pass it in 10 what to me, our wife,
Fondi, yeah, 2 minutes, mammy, sorry.
Reverend, see, Munya opportunity, Nanado Danko Kufadonya opportunity. Senko be sign bail way. 1 year.
Yes.
We had the last time we did court near dear Menua and Mamufria Bama Kauna Mulusu Kase and Intino. Yeah, who a Johnny and Fine Zango shim. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and I can bet you. My bill number, I will be part of the sponsors. The last so one now, you're the government sponsor.
Private members bill.
No problem. It doesn't matter.
We are bringing it.
No problem.
No problem. No problem.
No problem. And Intino, look, a bet on the table, so I'll be signing.
Okay.
Straight away. Now, a sign your money the NDC. John Mama and so we won't entertain that thing at all. Donald Trump worker say you were male and female. Asa, we are there and one and it has nothing to do about it again. Meanwhile, I have something to say. Look, one more. A far politics sponsorship, it's business, no. I don't think it is something we should entertain. We'll be or far politics as business. Fanny say. Oni pay onimse onye competent oni adwene sebin preduaso edwuma wo pekura no ni ho adwene bia nanso osika kakra wo ho no atam de akoma flag bearer se fire campaign sa wo wini a no ama medwuma aye wama enti flag bearer sebi ono nkontumi nyi ne bottom scan fa nye campaign wa ye wie no na fa be ne dadwene se ba all miss asese o manipa no appointment. And no you see, politics must attract the good brain. And let us not use politics as a venture. My main sponsor, no, as we near. Why am a minister? Exactly. Say I'm share. A best say yeah politics no. And no sponsorship. Oh, will be a bre, or the sikaba. And into ye no, as I see a heno. Now Ukraina wuchia. I have a gentleman at Port and Harbour, or you're one of their managers. The guy is just too competent. As I say, me per se, and Kaminya and boss. But the point is that when just can it be? But the point I'm making is say you decide you know so you politics. One share will be one na dream ye juma wonimade nanso wo be wie chire no na wo ma ekite sika no sebin preduasan bi mpo no yes competent within that environment as wo ye juma no mo akwaje ne ekoye chi enti those who are using
competent obetimi akwaje ama obi competent
those who are using politics as a venture my main sponsor nipa no so we ni amaje position no. Let's be careful about it. And yes, sir.
A strong point.
Eba ha adwin da achi. Oba hwe no na wa hijack party no mpo. Uka hwe so on the kuteska. Uka hwe enye ye.
And we should then
I mean, let's be careful
and talk about political party financing.
Exactly. It's very important.
This moral suasion will not help.
Look,
because say businessman be our interest.
Imagine say election and me quita be $100,000. And be akoma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. You be na me simple natural land and natural resource.
And this $100,000.
No. I'm only saying say.
Another example. Because has
so hold on. Anya Kurano. What do you say? Anya Kurano. You know, intimacy say that kind of thing. Okay. We need to talk about it.
Yeah, we need to.
It's true.
Anya sa.
The genesis of the corruption in our
absolutely
system.
Because
meritocracy.
Father Christmas. $2 million now campaign.
But you see, when we all agree, say your contribution will not guarantee you a position. Nasa win him says
then there will be no money.
Would they bar
to oil the political?
No, would they bar? No one will say there would be. It is not guaranteed.
So maybe the state will.
You know, let's look at political party.
You see, maybe the state.
Yes. Sika de bo besia no ne no an editua zaka mo ye campaign na yes appointee a
na be say kada be say campaign,
but it's a very strong point that we all need to take
seriously. Reverend
meritocracy. And then even the general
few that have the money will hijack the party.
It's true.
And Ghana, you see, we need to reset this economy. And I believe that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama would do that without fear or favor.
Honorable Vondi.
Yes, sir.
Incoming Deputy Minister.
Thank you.
Incoming something.
No, we're brutal. Ekosiisen,